And Brad's not here to mess it up. I fixed it. I did the intro. Finally, without him saying his stupid thing that he says that I'm not going to say, because otherwise that would be me keeping it alive. What's up,
Come
formula?
on. I don't know what he would say. Come on.
I know exactly what he would say. You're going to make me do it?
Repeat it.
Ooh, can I
Oh,
say
well,
it? Can
Yeah.
I
so
say it?
okay, I'll give you a hint. So when I say "Good Morning Metaverse," right, I'm quoting a movie.
Hmm.
The way I say it, "Good Morning Metaverse."
It sounds like Good Morning USA, American Dad,
Good
but that's a
morning,
series, a cartoon, and
USA.
I am
I've got a feeling that it's gonna be a wonderful
be a
day.
beautiful day.
Yes. So it's a Robin Williams movie where he says "Good morning, Vietnam" in that same
Oh
voice.
wow.
And so Brad wasn't
Nice.
here to do it. Normally, whenever I say for the last 22 episodes, every time I say Good Morning Metaverse, he responds with "Good morning, Vietnam." See, now I've done it. See, now you made me do it. And I finally got him to stop doing it yesterday, and he'll be very happy that I tricked myself into saying it today. Um, and because I want it to be like like a training a puppy, you just got to kind of like not pay attention to the bad behaviors. You turn your back on them. You're like, I will not pay attention to you when you're chewing stuff, right? So it's kind of like that. And now I'm doing the opposite. I'm giving a ton of attention to it. I've dedicated a whole like 2 minutes at the top of the show to it. So, oh, this is why I can't have nice things. Apparently, it's also why I can't have co-hosts. So my co-host Brad is MIA right now, but Formula 69 is here, and he is a long-time, recurring, awesome member and family. I don't want to say guest, but yeah, guest. You're a guest of the show. Take your shoes off. You still take your shoes off when you come in. Yeah, you don't sleep here. Only me and Brad sleep here. Brad sleeps in a box. Brad sleeps in a box under my bed. What's up, brother? How you been?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm here, man, like always,
Excellent. Good to
supporting.
hear. Well, I'll actually give you guys a little topic of discussion that we're going to talk about at the top of the show when Brad gets here, and then we'll go into intros with David and Betsy and talk a little bit about your guys' projects and stories and what you're doing. But basically, what we're working on right now is coming up with an expert advice alpha pass. So we're gonna figure it's probably $5 or $10. It's gonna be cheap, but it's like some kind of way to determine who was here first and who are the early fans, and reward them in some way. And in classic Brad and Cristiano fashion, we don't know what the utility is going to be yet, so we're just going to crowdsource it with you guys and be like, what do you guys think the utility is going to be? And like we'll do it within limit. Like we can still send Brad, parachuting out of planes and stuff. And like if you guys need me to open an OnlyFans on my feet to get the NFTs sold, I'll do it. But like I'd rather rather than going out and just proposing that myself, I'd rather you guys. So do you guys want to hear music from us? What do you want to hear? I'll bring this up a bunch of times in the show because as our listeners start trolling in casually late. I mean, I was 5 minutes late, so they have an excuse too.
Yeah, I was waiting. Um, I would say for anybody that has a project going on and they want their project to get promoted, that would be like a cool way, that you say, you know what, tomorrow's show I'm going to start with this person's project, and I'm going to mention it uh, in in the whether in the beginning, the end, or anywhere. Just say, hey, that would be like a great utility where um, it's kind of like in the way, how I've been doing some of these songs, and I mean, you guys just promote it. You're there, you're supporting, and
Exactly.
that's why a lot of the people that are coming in constantly that I've seen, that are here early and they stay for a long time. It's they see value in this project, and it's very important. Because not too many people are doing expert advices out there, and you guys got something going on that is very catchy, and we're all friends here, and we all need from each other, and that will be a great utility from you guys. And you guys are have a lot of power in the Twitter space, and
We are
a lot of people
quietly
could use that.
amassing power behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I want to start the whole expert advice like laboratory, like the expert laboratories, expert labs, and make like all the branding like an evil laboratory, but we actually do really good stuff. But like all the
Yeah, that'd
branding looks like we're up to
be
nefarious purposes. It's because we want
yeah.
to look cool on Twitter.
Where would the laboratories be at though?
The dark side of the moon.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that sounds like an NFT right
That's what I
there.
mean. Like we're up to nefarious shit. We know it's just like we live next to the Illuminati. We're not part of them. We just got a plot next to them on the dark side of the moon where they live, and then we just hang out there. Like you know what I mean? Like if everyone in your neighborhood's a dick, doesn't mean you're a dick too.
True.
So that's I think that'll be the dark angle of it. The dark angle will be like, well, why do you live on the dark side of the moon then? It's like, well, you know, there was an open spot.
Yeah, it just happened that the land was cheap there at the time.
Well, how much cheap at that moment? There was a short sale because one of the billionaires, got in trouble for some stuff. And so
Yeah.
I mean, we already bought Epstein Island on OVR, so we're good. We did not actually buy Epstein Island, but we figured out how much it would cost, and we went and checked it out. And turns out it's certain it's actually bought already. So we would actually have to make an offer, and it would be a whole thing.
Yeah, I need
I
to
think
get
that's
into the OVR. I
yeah.
haven't had a chance to get in there, and I know Brad's been telling me about it.
I, I mean,
So
I'm into it in a certain way, and it's great. But like everything you said, I think is perfect, and I think that we could add that to the past because then it could be great because then people who come up and like friends of the show will already have their pass, So maybe it's like a pass to like pitch whatever you want, whenever you want, as long as you hold it,
yeah, and especially
right?
like you guys are very
Like a lifetime
consistent.
pass.
Yeah, you guys are very consistent, and consistency means everything in Twitter Spaces. And they know where to find you, and they know when their project is going to be out there.
Yeah,
So I think that's the key.
maybe we call it like a lifetime pass, like an expert advice lifetime pass. That way you don't have to keep saying it on everything. You know what I mean? Because if like
Yeah,
all the utilities are for like lifetime,
yeah,
as
but
long as you hold the
the
pass.
thing is like you can't be promoting too much of everyone because then your show will be full of kind of ads. So it would have to be like selected days or something like that.
Because you're saying everyone would come at the same time to do it.
No.
Everyone, you're saying everyone would just every day. Everyone would be like, my turn, my turn, my turn, my turn, my turn.
Yeah, yeah, but you can say, episode 25 is going to be this person. It's kind of like when you bring, people in and to co-host with you
Yeah,
and kind of like that.
yeah. I mean, we do. We have two. We have two booked guests on each show. And so maybe eventually, when the show becomes bigger and we have 10,000 listeners or whatever, it becomes, hey, you pay to be booked on the show, just like a daily show or any other show. They're listening. The guests pay to be there.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they're getting
that's
awesome
more like
exposure, and they're getting
mm,
interviewed by Jon Stewart. Not anymore, but when that show was still going.
yeah.
So that's actually a great transition. So we'll get back into the expert advice lifetime pass or alpha pass or expert advice expert pass. We got to come up with a good name for it. Something that's funny too. Alpha pass. I think the word alpha has gone away as a trend, so maybe we move past that. But yeah, the whole plan was for me and Brad to do that at the top of this hour. I don't know if he's okay. I got to check on him via text, but I've already done that. I'll let you know when he texts me back. While we do that, let's transition into our hosts. Let's into our special guests. Let's hear a little bit. Betsy, you chimed in before, so I'll let you go first.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh my, can you hear me well enough? I'm
yes.
downstairs smoking.
Betsy's
Bad
PFP is
habit.
awesome. I had to make a separate post for you because your profile picture is so
Oh,
badass.
wow. Thanks. Thank you guys. I also want to notify people my name is not Betsy. My true name is San.
We learned this today
So,
on the Nefty Box stream.
yeah.
yeah.
My name is not Formula, but you know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, it could have been an awesome name. It could have been Formula. Oh, I know. I mean, I'm from the Netherlands. It's 2 a.m. in the morning
Yeah, you
and
can
I'm
call me
hyped on
Formula.
coffee.
It's pronounced Formula.
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 Formula, because he's out
Hmm.
Sounds
for the
cool.
mula.
They gave me that for when I was a little kid in a bottle. Formula.
Formula. Yeah, it helps you get things strong and make money. Formula. So tell us a little bit about Nefty Box and also a little bit about Betsy and what the deal is with Betsy.
I came up with Betsy after the logo design from Nifty Blocks, and because we needed a mascot or something to promote Nifty Blocks a little better, and that's how Betsy got into the world of NFTs.
That's so cool. And who did the art for Betsy?
Me,
You did? Oh my God! Wow. The art.
everything, every single art piece from Betsy, from Nifty Blocks has been coming from me.
Wow. Oh, so you're the person I want to talk to. Cool.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
so
like I
honored.
like talking tech too, but like I'm an artist as well, so I was like I'm about to ask. So do you do comic books or like comic
I
art?
do wanna.
You want to?
Yeah. Yeah,
Awesome. Well,
there's
we're
a
gonna have
lot
a
of things that
very
are on my
long
wish
talk
list of
after this
doing.
because I do a little work with a big comic book company, so I would love to like figure out if there's a partnership there because like we're doing a lot of comics too for my company. Stay tuned.
Mm,
It's a I run an animation studio and Cartoon Network. That's now as of
cool.
right now like starting to work with like three different Web3 creators on their cartoon projects that I've just met in spaces over the last month. Um,
Wow.
yeah, and I followed up with the people that really impressed me, and I was just like, "Here's the deal. I'm putting a ton of energy and money into this. Been building it for 2 years, and I want to. My whole pitch is like let the creators own their content. Let the creators, retain their rights and give them like what a studio would do for them without losing their copyright, without losing their brand, right? So basically, the deal you would never get out of Hollywood. Because if I give you the
That's
same deal that the Hollywood's going to give you,
so
then it's like,
amazing.
yeah, it's like, why would
Like,
you go with me? Why wouldn't you just go with like Warner Brothers? You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to give you the same deal, where it's like I own your stuff, and it's like, but there are people out there that their content is owned by tiny streaming services that no one's ever heard of, you know, because they just like wanted the deal. I did it. I did it for 10 or 5 years, and sold my content. I mean, for 15 years I've been making content and viral videos and music videos and web series and branded series, and I never do anything for free. I always get paid by a brand or a big studio to do something, right? So it's like it allows. This is my first time ever creating my own stuff and then being like, let's see if the fans can fund it, or and I don't want to put the pressure on the fans, so it's like finding a way to create a network that doesn't put the pressure just on the fans to fund it, right? And we can get funding from traditional sources as well and mix that with the fans. And so I think Web3 really allows us to do that, right? Where your investor pool could
that's
be a fan, and it could be someone that has $100,000 worth of your token or whatever it is, right?
wow, that's truly that's amazing. So far, all of my work, well, most of my content, unless it's in my own free time, has been sold, so no rights owned.
That's most of us. That's like 90% of my
Yeah,
work. It's tough.
yeah, it's how it is. As for Nifty Blocks, a little update. Today was my last working day for Nifty Blocks,
Oh yeah.
and I'm still gonna do some stuff for them because they still probably need Betsy. So I'll probably draw Betsy still for them whenever I got some time to squeeze in. But I'm actually looking for a new job.
Excellent. Very cool. And what are you looking to do?
um, Preferably something within art direction, but I wouldn't mind working as an artist or concept artist, like drawing up all of the IDs. And yeah.
Very cool. And where do you have any of your work anywhere that we can see?
So far I've been working on my portfolio and there's a
Okay.
lot of stuff that I can't share, but
Of course.
I can share in private,
Oh, very cool.
so
Awesome.
long as it doesn't end up on the internet.
No, yeah. So we can do like a FaceTime or something later, and we can do like a screen share thing.
Oh yeah,
So you can
sure. That
just yeah,
sounds
like you don't
amazing.
even have to yeah.
Wow.
Because that'd be
Oh,
super
keep
cool.
me
I would love to
posted.
see. I would love to see your work, and like I'm literally right now collecting artists like for just for this company for Stay Tuned. I've been developing the shows for 2 years in private, and now I'm just ready to like bring them out. And I have some teasers. You can see the one on my profile. It's Jesus Danger Christ. I do all the art on it. So now that
Wow,
I'm
that's
running
amazing.
this expert advice empire over here and doing that and running that company, it's like there's not a lot of time for me to be an illustrator or an artist, which is actually always part of the plan because I wanted to Stay Tuned to feel like Cartoon Network, where it's there's so many different art styles. You know what I mean? Like Avatar does not feel like the Amazing World of Gumball, and that does not feel
Yeah.
like Adventure Time. They're very
Oh,
different shows
absolutely.
on the same network,
I
right?
love Adventure Time.
I love Adventure Time, but like I couldn't if every show was like that on the network, it would be maddening. And that's a lot of the times these YouTube channels that do animation, it's like all the same artist. So it's gonna be all the same similar kind of art style. And I thought it would be interesting and actually faster to get it done by just grabbing a bunch of people who have their own projects, right, and letting them run and just giving them what they need, whether it's marketing or money or animators or illustrators. So I'm putting together like a Rolodex of all the illustrators and animators that are smart enough to be in this Twitter space right now, like in the Twitter spaces space, and in the Web3 world, right?
That's
But yeah, we have a
amazing.
long conversation to have after this, Betsy. Don't worry.
Wow, wow. I'll be sure to get more coffee. I'm trying to stay up and keep up with
Oh God, I
everything.
forgot it's in the middle. We can always do it. No, we don't have to do it tonight. We can always
Oh no,
do
no,
it
I'm totally hyped for it.
tomorrow.
Let's go. I'm just rolling over this night. I'm gonna stick up and figure it out.
Well, we can do it after. I'm saying you and I can do it offline because we're going to do
Mm,
the show for 2.5 hours, so it'll probably be too late by then. But when you're refreshed, if you want to, like give me like shoot me a DM and we'll chat tomorrow.
Sure, sure.
Yeah,
That
and you show
sounds
me some of your art.
amazing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Wow, cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I picked you
Furthermore,
picked a
yeah.
good day to come in, and also I picked a wrong day to go into Nifty Blocks and be like, "Hey, so yeah, we're having like Betsy on the show today. It's gonna be great." And like,
Oh,
he's like
but
your last day, and Brad
yeah,
and I went
it
into the
is my
Nifty
last day,
Blocks
but
space today.
we're not parting on any
Okay,
bad
okay,
word or
that's good.
something. We're really still friends, and
That's
it's
cool.
more of an unfortunate situation where they cannot afford to keep me.
That's fair.
So
Well, I
it's
mean,
yeah,
hopefully we can help them, today by, talking a little bit about them. I know when Brad comes on, he's like a huge Wax fanboy. So we're gonna like
yes.
the conversation is gonna like devolve into Wax. So before we do that, let's chat with David a little bit about David's gonna be like my guest and Betsy you'll be Brad's because David's a screenwriter and I'm a screenwriter and you and Brad have more in common in terms of the Wax stuff, I think. Obviously you and I have a lot in common in terms of the art, but like you know what? We'll share. You're both my guests right now because Brad's not here. So, David, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Cool.
What's up? Yeah, I'm Dave. I'm a screenwriter. I've been doing it probably for the last like decade or so, but my biggest thing was I was working for um, Airbud. If anyone remembers that movie, they
Yes,
have they basically spawned off an entire
I've
production
seen
company.
almost all of them. I understand. Snow
Oh,
Buddies, yeah, all the
yes,
Christmas
yeah.
buddies, yeah.
So the two new ones that are on Netflix, I helped develop to get into there, and then actually they're like Halloween themed one about cats and stuff. I had a
Awesome.
really heavy hand with the showrunner to like help develop that show, and so that's where I was in the pandemic, and then post pandemic, I was let go, or like in the middle of the pandemic, I was let go. So for the last year, I've been like freelancing, just trying to, just do what screenwriters do, which is just have somebody even pay mind to you.
Yeah.
So you're like knocking on doors, and people are like, "Cool, cool, okay, we'll talk later, bye." That's if they even know to enter the door.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, so but that's sort of my story. But I took what I learned from over at Airbud, and I decided, there because it was much different than I thought when I was wanting to become a screenwriter, and so I realized like it's not as scary as I had thought, and so I came up with this idea of doing like a fake writers room, or like a mock writers room, where me and like four other people or five other people will take an existing show. Like the next one I want to do is going to be with like the flight attendant, because with my kid being born, we were watching the flight attendant, and like that first season's like so self-contained, and then they did a second season, and I was like, oh, you could like easily do whatever you wanted. So it's like an open canvas. But just to give people an idea who are still kind of starting out, or maybe not sure exactly how TV writers' rooms work, give them an idea of like what that, energy is like, and how pitching is done, and like how the development side of things
That's
is
brilliant.
done. So that's I've done a couple of like pilot programs, but now I'm starting to get the gears rolling a little faster on
And
that one.
what platform do you do that on? Is it on
I do it through
Twitter?
just me. There's no, so basically I've been marketing a lot through Twitter just to find people. I am, I'll tell you, I think I'm a 85-year-old man inside of a 35-year-old man's body.
I
Cause
feel like
like,
that way. I feel that way sometimes. I understand.
cause it's like people are like, oh, you want to do Twitch or this or that? And I was like, I know, not like I feel so out of the loop, but it's like right now it's just currently
David, I'm
me.
35 and have been doing this for 15 years, and I'm still like, which one? Like, I found out about a new one today called Coob, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it's like 10-second looping videos, and I'm like, I'm a Viner, so I'm like, how? Why wasn't I told? Like,
When you
I feel
approached
like
me,
I'm
I was
late, but
like,
I'm early on
"What's
everything.
Spaces?" And then I started looking at Spaces. I was like, "Spaces is cool. It's just podcast, but on Twitter.
I
This
was
is
late to
amazing."
Spaces, but I'm super early to Spaces. None of my friends know about Spaces, but I got here, and everyone's like, hey, you just getting here? Ha ha ha.
And you're
Like,
like, "Yeah, man, I am. But the party's great. I like what you're serving."
yeah, it's a very welcoming space.
It is, and I love this like kind of punk rock mentality we got going on here. It's so cool that you are bringing so many different people from different, like, I'm super unfamiliar with like NFTs and web3s and things of that nature. So like even within this like first 10-15 minutes, I've learned more than I ever thought I was going to. So that's
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 awesome,
always
man.
good.
That's what we love to hear. That's
Yeah.
why we're doing this, and like the reason why we package it with comedy is it's kind of like it's an old adage. It's like open their mouth with laughter and then shove some food for thought down their
I,
throat.
I love it.
Right?
Yeah, and I love what you're like. I love the connection to, and I like what you're doing too, man. Like that's really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a full-time screenwriter, so I'm finally just kind of stepping out and being back to marketing and everything. But in terms of like when you have an idea, like let me start my own TV network, it's not like okay, let me just start the Twitter and go.
Right.
It's like it's going to take 2 years it's going to take a couple of years. Like we spent the first year just writing Jesus Danger Christ, our tentpole, our big
Oh,
show.
wow.
Right. And so we wrote 6 seasons. We wrote the first season fully, and then we wrote 6 seasons like outlined. So the full series Bible is done.
Nice.
Right? And then we pitched it to a bunch of networks, and one of them tried to cut Jesus out of the show.
What?
Yeah, he tried to cut Jesus. He was like, "No, it's great. I love it." The plot of the show is God gets drunk one night and accidentally signals the apocalypse. He's like, fuck the humans. And just like presses a button and sends Jesus accidentally tumbling down. But Jesus hits a satellite, and instead of landing in Jerusalem, he lands in Los Angeles. and so now he hits his head and like comes up and he's like, ow, and like this dude next to him, I think it's gonna be Brad. Actually, we're talking about it right now. It was either gonna be Brad or originally it was gonna be Ryan Gosling. So that's who Brad has to beat out in terms of fame. I told him
We'll just
I was
have
like,
him bleach
basically, if
blonde his
anyone more
hair.
famous than you wants the role, Brad, you're gonna have to give it up. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, Brad just needs to bleach blonde his hair and see if he can try to mock up his own Ken look and see if he's better than what's out there.
A Ken doll.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So basically, I was gonna make a joke about his crotch, but I'm not gonna go there. If you guys are screenwriters, you can figure out the joke I was gonna make. So, well, my point was like, Jesus gets offered cocaine immediately. And then like does coke and like goes to like a party and like at a rave and just like has a great time, and he's like, why would I want to end humanity? Like Satan calls him as like, hey, Jesus. Satan's voice is really high pitched. We made Satan tiny. Satan looks like a South Park character in our show.
Nice.
So he wanted to like we want to do something, a Satan that no one had ever seen before. Right.
Yeah.
So like everyone's done the big hulking. It's always to make him big. So it was like, let's be contrary. Let's make him tiny. So he literally looks like Stan from South Park with like devil horns, on a helmet.
Nice.
And he has a little business tie in a suitcase. So the idea is like God works hard, but the devil works harder. Right? So he has to work like an office job. That's his punishment. And he works at the bottom of hell, like the lowest level where it's actually frozen. Right. That's in Dante's Inferno.
Nice.
And he works down there, and it's always freezing cold. So he has like a sweater on, and it's like freezing cold in an office environment. And he's just like, that's his life, is like the office all day, every day for eternity. He never gets like leave the office really, so he's constantly frustrated and overwhelmed. And so he's like, "Hey, Jay, so you know how you're supposed to like kind of like signal the apocalypse and I come up and rule?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, bro, we're not doing that. Sorry." He's like, "The humans are awesome, man. He's like, I'm staying on Earth." He's like, "No way." So it's basically like that episode of Family Guy where Jesus plays hooky. He doesn't want to signal the apocalypse, but that is for an entire series. That's the whole series.
I like that.
Is expanding that idea, that Seth MacFarlane put out there. It was like, what if Jesus didn't want to do the apocalypse and he just wanted to hide and be like run a record store? And it's like, yeah, that's a show.
It's a very
good show Seth MacFarlane never made.
I like that you're doing a lot of like nice philosophical jokes, so they're like highbrow, like bringing in Dante's Inferno and like having it be like an office.
Oh yeah, I'm a theologian, so there's just so much. Like, for people who love theology, there's just going to be so much to chew on. Like I want it to be Rick and Morty level of, and really that's come from the Pixar method that we use, right? So we use this Pixar method where it's like it comes from Disney.
Right.
But Disney the way Disney developed is he had 3 rooms, right? He had the first room where it was all the brainstorming. And that was all the writing and brainstorming and coming up with everything. And the second room was prototyping, right? Rapid prototyping. So in Pixar, it's like mocking it up, mocking up that scene, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the third room was called the sweat room, sweat box. And the third room is where you viciously tear apart everything you're watching.
Nice.
So it's like, and you just go between those 3 rooms. You cycle between those three rooms, so it's perfect, right?
Yeah.
And so we do the same kind of method. So we've been in room 1 on a lot of shows for like years, just going back and forth between room 1 and room 2 and coming up with the storyboard and watching it and voicing it, watching it, being like, is it funny? Am I laughing? No. Punch it up. Like write more stuff and then do a storyboard and then record it and watch the show the animatic to your friends. Is it good enough?
Awesome.
No. Punch it up. And that's the difference. When we finally release all of our stuff, people are going to be like, holy effing crap. How? And it's like, because we took years.
Yeah.
Like I invested like $50,000 of my time a year, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's like, yeah. So then it's going to look like it has a $200,000 budget because it technically does. It's me working on it for 4 years, for free, or 2 years for free.
And where did you come up with the idea? I mean, was it just sort of like something you'd always, because you are a theologian, like it was just sort of something you wanted to play around with? Or?
The idea was from me being a kid in church and needing to find a way in Roman Catholic Church to connect with it. And like seeing this dude up there on the cross bleeding out, like, and it's like basically his worst day, Like
Yeah.
they were like his worst day.
Immortal.
They symbolized I would not want like his hair's all fucked up. He's having a bad day, and he's up there suffering, and I'm just like, there's like so to avoid all the trauma and the brainwashing of it. I was like, whenever the priest would tell a story, I would like in my head, it would always be funny. My head would find a way to be like, and then Jesus did this, and like because I watched a lot of Monty Python, so I'd be like watching Monty Python and stuff, and then like going to
Oh
church,
wow,
and
that's
then
a
it was
good
like, and then I
combo.
saw Life of Brian, and that like was like, oh my god, you can do this, So like it's always been. My mom's always allowed me. She allowed me to study every religion. My parents were cool. They raised me Roman Catholic, but like I studied every religion, so I do that so I can interact with everyone.
Nice.
And like I can like relate to everyone. So like I can, if you say you're Muslim, I can understand your faith and understand the tenets of your faith in a rudimentary way.
Right,
but
right.
It's enough to ask more questions.
Right.
And so I'm just a permanent scholar and a student of everything. I wish I could freeze time like Doctor Strange and just like learn really quick while time was paused and just read all the books. So
I love that, man.
You know?
I love that. I love that your brain goes to that spot because it's like I wish I was. In a lot of ways, I wish my brain was that quick because it's like you're right. It's like it's immortalizing the worst day of Jesus Christ, and it's just sort of like everyone's like bowing down to it, and this dude's like, I'm fucking dying. Like, could you maybe pick?
Could you
a
guys
day
not?
that like? What about the day that I made the home run at the company softball?
The first line of the show is Jesus getting rose up, like like he's just see the sky, and then like the cross comes into frame, and he's up on the cross, and he's like, okay, I really don't think you guys are getting the whole do unto others thing that I was talking about. Like, that's the first line of the whole show. So it's like it's immediately like dropping wisdom and knowledge. I mean, like do unto others, but also being like, you see the hypocrisy of this right now, guys, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just I found it was a way that like I want to find a way that you can unite the Christian worlds and the secular worlds in a way where it's not so serious, and it's like I think Christianity has like the most sense of humor about it out of any religion. So that's where we're starting. But like Jesus Savior Christ is gonna have every single, we're an equal opportunity offender. Like we're gonna have every God, everything. We have a whole thing with Muhammad where he's always busy, and so we never get to see him. Like he's always busy, so we never show him. But he's in the show and he's doing awesome stuff. And you hear about his awesome things that he's done, but you never see him.
That's smart.
And that's out of respect. That's
really
what I mean? Like that's understanding the theology and not trying to push the boundary for any stupid reason.
Right. Yeah. No, that's
genius.
Good. That's
right.
Very good.
It's like, where's Muhammad? It's like, oh, he's off doing some cool stuff. Like he's off saving orphans.
And then, like from a show structure standpoint, like it's such a good running gag that you have.
Yeah, exactly.
All seasons.
Like where's Muhammad?
It's so good.
He's busy.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm never showing him. And they're like, no. Like people are like, you got to show him. It's like, no, you show him. I'm not doing that. It's not on me. It's on you. No. So and it's being respectful too. Like Buddha's like really funny in it, and we in the heaven in Jesus Christ. There's every heaven. So there's Mormon heaven, there's Buddhist heaven, there's all the heavens coexist. So it's a heavenly realm, right?
Nice.
And so there's literally something for everyone. Thor's in the show, Zeus is in the show. Mount Olympus is a retirement home now. Zeus has a thick Greek accent like this.
It's amazing.
A bingo.
Wow, it's just mythology and religion for that part as well. I just love reading those kind of stories and books, and I've been raised Catholic as well, but it never piqued my interest or it intrigued me as much as the stories surrounding the entire thing interested me. And I kept that up as a DM as well, which is Dungeons and Dragons, still a game I play.
Totally. I mean, that's the thing. Dungeons and Dragons is so popular, and the whole fantasy genre is so popular, but all that fantasy comes from mythology.
Yeah.
All of it.
And a lot of research.
And and so when you get into like making a show where you have like, when you get into making a show, you have all these gods, right? And then suddenly, so basically the show builds to them forming a super team where Jesus is at the head of it, and Jesus is like Captain America, and he names the team the Avengers because they're from heaven. And no one on the team likes it either. They're all grown every time he says it. He's like, get it, guys? Because heaven? And they're all like, oh, God. He's like, well, let's think you'll come up with a better name. So, yeah, and it's like Thor and Jesus, but all the gods are ripoffs of the DC characters. So, like Diana, right? The Greek goddess of the hunt is Diana, is, Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Because it's like, we're stealing it, yeah, but you stole it first. You see what I mean? So it's like we can get away with doing like Batman as like Hephaestus. You know what I mean? Or like because there is an allegory for each of them. So that's like they were all ripped off. Like Apollo could be Superman.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, so we have this superhero team, and we're working with a comic book company right now where we're developing it as a comic book too. So you can watch the show Jesus Angel Christ, or you can read this comic called The Avengers that is a comic within the show, right? So stuff like that. Like that's how I think. That's why my thing says Web3's Walt Disney in my profile, because like I don't do a show or an idea unless it has like legs, like 10 years of legs.
Yeah.
Right? Because as a screenwriter, like that's 2 years of your life, even just writing the script and like having it done, maybe a year or two.
Oh yeah,
it's a lot of time, like rewriting, and so it's like it better be worth it. And I have a few scripts that are on the shelf that I never made, and once I got to like the second or third one, I was like, never again. You know what I mean? I'm not doing this anymore. It's a piece of your heart, that you put down on paper, and then it's like it's not about whether or not people like it, right? It's about can we find funding for this? So it becomes, is this idea marketable?
Right. And then that's when you start getting other people involved, and it's like that's when the compromises start.
Mm-hmm. And is it going to relate to them? And that's why we created Stay Tuned, was that we didn't want to compromise on Jesus Angel Christ, and even our one show that we had at the time. And then once I was like, oh, we need to create our own thing that houses this, and like we'll find a way to get funding for each individual show, and then Stay Tuned will just be a marketing company for each individual show, right?
Right.
And that was like, if we set it up like that allows us to be modular, then we don't own anything. Like my show is Jesus Angel Christ, right? But if you had a show called like Three Pigs in a House or whatever, and it's like your show was like your thing and your creation, you're putting in the work, you've been coming up with it for 2 years, why should I get to now own the lion's share of it? That makes absolutely zero sense.
Yeah.
It makes zero sense.
It makes zero sense. Yeah, I like that you guys are sort of carving that way for the new, like, it's definitely, it jives with, I feel like, where we are in our, like, just society in general, where it's just like, let's start giving credit to when credit is due, and like start giving away, having people who create the stuff like get paid for what they get created for, instead of like having to sell off that and their children, and then they get maybe a kickback if that's available. So I think that's, man, you sold me. That's for sure.
Let me know when it's gonna be on air, because I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna be involved, Betsy, if your art is as cool as this PFP.
Rad. Oh man. Yeah. Wow.
I'm telling you, this is where I'm building my team, is spaces. Like I'm building my team just from cool people I meet in spaces, and actually genuinely get the idea, because it's not just my idea. It's like I'm just the dude being like, this way, come on. But like I'm just trying to like get the charge going. You know what I mean? Like, because once there's enough of us, I did this with Vine. It was like there was no one selling ads into Vine, right? And so I had all these big brands and all these big commercials. What's that?
I'd say that's real heavenly. Trying to add to the pun over here.
No pun intended, or pun intended.
Yeah, pun intended. But yeah, what I also would do with the heaven, I can't pronounce it anymore. It's so late.
I want everyone to succeed, but it also makes like business financial sense. It's like if I want to build my, if I want to build like my house by a pond or whatever, right? Like it doesn't matter if I build my house there if there's no road and there's no resources and everything. So I kind of got to build a town. And kind of got to like get other people and convince other people, like, hey, let's go to this pond and we can all like fish, and then we can open up maybe like a co-op that we all own together. That's like a fish store, and we can sell fish, and then people will sell us stuff. We have a town, right? Like, and that's how the earliest towns were formed. So it's a very natural human thing to do this, right? To be like, all right, I'm not safe alone. I need a tribe. I need a bunch of other people who also believe the same things as me, also get the same things. And the interesting thing is, it's not political or religious beliefs. It's more philosophical. Like I'm finding the lines and spaces are being drawn by people's philosophies on like work and on like value, and on ownership. Like we all share a philosophy on ownership, right? We all believe the artist should own something. But like there are people that I do business with that do not agree with us. And they'll tell us why. They'll tell you why. And they make a compelling case. And we need to have a better argument, for why, rather than like we deserve it. And they're like, well, take it from us. And that's the truth, So it's like, if we're going to take it from them, we have to do what I helped do last time. But like, there wasn't really anyone selling Vines, like ads into Vine. So I took all these big brands that I had been working with, and I got them with these Viners, and I said, hey, let's do, $7,000 per Vine or $10,000 per Vine. I got these influencers a lot of money for 6 seconds. But like, then I was like, this brand is paying $7,000. So we got to make sure that it gets $14,000 worth of engagement.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I was, yeah. There's not a lot of people doing that now in terms of making sure the influencers get engagement on the posts that are paid for. So that market is crashing. The influencer like marketing market in the total is crashing, or has crashed, or has been dead for a while, I guess. Because I think like a lot of people here, for example, would rather do the marketing themselves on projects than go to some influencer that they think is just going to steal their money. Right? Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
yeah. So it's like they've, and I told them that would happen in the beginning when I was like, if you guys don't give them what they paid for, eventually the word's going to get around and there's going to be no market. Right? So it's like that was why, but I didn't stay in it long enough, so I can't complain. If I had stayed in it from then till now, I would have maybe been able to enact some changes or help set the tone or set the tide, but I left, so I can't really complain. All I can do is right now in this space try to find a way to do that again and put a community together of like-minded people that all have something in common. And the great thing that we all have in common is we all want to make money on our art, right? Like now, like as soon as humanly possible. So
yeah,
that's a very powerful urge, and I think that harnessing all that horsepower could be really, really, really powerful. So that's why I do this every day.
I'm gonna say and be honest, besides money, because to me, money doesn't really truly make happy. It makes easy. To me, it's putting a smile on people's faces, and whether that may be through amazing jokes like the Avengers, that would be rad, by the way. But
Yes.
just the sheer storytelling, and that's why I love building characters so much. The whole story behind them, the background, where they come from, what do they do, why do they do what they do, and why is the villain a villain? And really put the social aspect into the spotlight and let people think.
And like, why does the villain, like great villains, for example, they say like James Bond represents the current time. So whatever the current James Bond looks and acts like is like what men during that time, what their ideal is, what they dream to be,
I'd
And
say
so like
take
villains
Thanos.
are the same thing, kind of thing, right? Where it's like a villain will reflect society.
Yeah.
So
yes,
like whatever we're going through, like the villains right now are going to be like disease and plague and then or poverty.
exactly. I'm a script reader for this small festival, and like the number of scripts that have coming out that are like pandemic related or some sort of
Oh my
like
god, I
infectious
can't even
disease.
imagine.
Holy shit! Like it influx. Like I think there was one in 2020, and then like since last year it's just been, or since like early this year, it's just been numerous ones where they're like romances in the in the time of a pandemic or this or that, and it's just
Yeah,
like Jesus Christ.
like love
And
in
you're
the
right
time
though,
of
but it's
COVID.
like, and it's like in the 80s, it's like, wasn't it like, look at Red Dawn, like, it's like
Yeah, that's a great example. Red Dawn was very much like Cold War fears.
yeah, they're like,
And
let's
when
just
they remade it
funnel it
too, how
down.
they literally changed the bad guys, right?
Yeah.
The new
And
one,
then you look at
it's
the new Red Dawn, right, with Hemsworth. I think that's what you were saying, is like that was all North Korean.
yeah, it's like
With
North
like,
Korea or something, right?
yeah,
Yeah, it's North Korea. So it was like that's who the threat was, like that year, like that few years, where it was like this will be scarier, right? Because this, and I get you. I bet they're gonna do a Red Dawn 2 or another reboot, and it'll be like Russia.
yeah, it'll be Russian. Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be
And then
Russia.
they'll, or
Like,
maybe
what
they'll
if
Yeah.
go
Russia
on.
like didn't stop at Ukraine and just kept going
Yeah.
into America? Yeah.
Well, it's funny. It's like, not to like pull that, but like I was like, because like you hear a lot of these things where people are saying when you're screenwriting. You may have heard this too, where it's like they say, you make the trends, or like be a part of the trend, or this and that. And I had this idea that was sort of like a small like family drama kind of thing. And then I went to a guy, and he was like, oh, like like you, because I do tend to write more like action thriller kind of things. And he goes like, you should just make this like more of like what you're comfortable with. And so I was like, well, follow the trends. I'm like, the villains that when I started it were Russian, because like at the time it was sort of like weird stuff, and then like the Ukraine stuff happened, and then I kind of stopped working on it because I was like, this feels wrong. This feels very wrong in
Yeah,
so
my
many
friend
different ways.
had a screenplay about like Osama bin Laden still being alive and like hidden before he'd been killed,
Oh,
and like then like the day and it was like doing really well and it was like getting made, and then like day Osama bin Laden like got shot. I like messaged him. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like,
oh no.
you know what I mean? Because like I was like,
Yeah.
but you could still make it like, oh, they faked his death and like do it. And he was like, nah, man, it's dead.
Yeah.
He was like, it's
Just
dead.
like him.
Yeah, just like Osama. He's like, it's
Just like that. Yeah.
I mean, my brother's film. My brother won Cannes 2 years ago, right? So with a movie called The Climb, you should check it out if anyone hasn't seen it. It's my brother and his best friend Kyle, who's another one of my best friends as well. And basically, they play themselves in the movie. They wrote it together, and it was based on a short film they did in Sundance, where it's basically a 6-minute bike ride, like on bicycles, and they're going up this big hill, and then my brother tells his friend that he slept with his wife, and like it's just like that's the 6 minutes. It's a long tracking shot. They shot it from
Love
the
it.
car, like out the back of the car, and it's just hilarious because it's just the reaction, and like his friend, who's mad at him now, like can't catch up to him because he's out of shape. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and he's like, "I know. That's why I waited for the hill." Like so he can't catch him. And like so that movie crushed at Sundance, and it won Sundance. And then from that they got funding to go make a feature length and everything like that. And then they took that to Cannes, premiered it at Cannes, and won Cannes. And the comedies never win Cannes. This is in 2019. And then they got bought by Sony Pictures Classic, right? And Sony went to premiere the movie for $4 million. And then Sony went to premiere the movie, and the day the movie premieres, and they had been doing like weeks of bike rides. They would ride their cycles. They're like the fixed gear, like bicycles, right? Like serious cyclists. So they would ride those bicycles to and from the movie premieres and stuff like that, right? So like every city it was like premiering, and like the screenings, they would like ride their bikes in between. They were doing a cross country tour on the cycles, and like just having these conversations on social media. This whole build up for 3 months, 4 months. And then the day their movie releases is March 15th, 2020.
Oh.
And if those of you who don't know your recent history, that was the day every movie theater on the planet got shut down.
Oh.
Yep.
Bummer.
So, yeah.
Oof,
his release was like the pandemic day.
What
So
it'll
it'll
what's
happen.
happen with
so
it?
it's like you have to. Oh, the movie
Can we
release.
see the movie anywhere?
It's doing great considering. Like it re-released after the pandemic, and it actually crushed still. And now it's just like it's picking up a slower. It's now becoming a sleeper hit because it's like it couldn't get the big release it deserved, but it's it's word of mouth because it's a fucking hilarious movie. It's really funny.
Where can we see it, Chris? Where is it?
The Climb, I believe you can watch it. You can check it out on IMDb and see where you can watch it. I think it's on Prime, but it might be you have to pay.
Sure.
Yeah, but check it out. It's The Climb by Michael Covino. It's his directorial debut. My brother's directorial debut, and we had been making movies for 10, 15 years, or maybe 10 years before that. So
looks like it's
every
Prime
overnight
for
success is
$12.99.
typically 10 years in the making. What's that?
I said it's on Prime for $12.99, and Stars if you have Stars.
There you go. Oh yes, it's on Stars is where you can watch it for streaming. And if you don't have Stars, pay $12.99 or get a Star subscription. I don't know. But yeah, go check it out. It's a really funny movie. David, if you like comedy, I think you'd really like it. And anyone, it's like they were trying to bring back the bromance. It's like people are calling it the best bromance ever made, like because it is better than I Love You Man. So it's like it's pretty good. It's a very good bromance. It's just about two friends who are not gay and they just love each other and just can't stop messing up each other's lives.
I love that. I think there needs to be more of that.
Michael, what is it? Sorry,
So
Chris.
basically, Bad Boys.
Yeah. It's like it's the second best because Bad Boys is the best bromance for sure. That is the best one. Let me bring up.
I'm Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry. So yeah, Zola, we're here talking to David, who is a screenwriting expert, and we have Betsy over here is an amazing artist who also is an expert on NFT blocks. But Brad is MIA. Hopefully, he's not KIA. He is MIA though.
Could you indulge me on the last phrase, the KIA?
Oh, that's
I wouldn't know what that means.
Killed in action.
Oof.
That's not
No,
good.
no, no,
God
no, no,
forbid.
no.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Hopefully, he's MIA and not KIA.
He could just be a
Yeah.
POW.
Hopefully, he is not KIA or a POW, but I'd rather him be a POW than a KIA.
Or a POWP.
He might be a POS and just skipping the show.
Yeah, or he could have went absent without leave.
Oh, he may have AOL, AWL, AWOL.
Indeed.
He might be on AOL, American Online. He's probably just like REM.
I have you, Lima Charlie. How do you have me?
Roger Charlie. That's a good copy.
Way to go. That was good. You picked that up well. I'm proud of you. Boom. I'm going to leave the space now because I feel like I'm fucking up your show.
No, you're fine. Brad's actually in REM right now. So that's where he is. I mean, honestly, that's the only excuse I'm going to accept is like asleep or dead. And sleep's not really an excuse.
So dead.
Not at all. So dead. So yeah.
Yeah.
Brad, if you're listening to this,
being dead
YouTube
is not
dead.
an excuse either. Don't give me that.
What's up, Trey?
Not a lot. Just painting some of the shit I had to weld up outside. Did a bunch of welding today. Now I got to paint it safety yellow. So people don't walk into a big ass fixture that I welded together because people are blind around here.
I mean, I understand. I have to put tennis balls in the end of every stand on a film set, so people don't walk into the side of into a thing that's sticking out clearly.
Ugh.
You got to idiot-proof every room.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Brad had messaged me earlier asking me if I'd ever built any beats or anything, and I'm like, no, not really.
Nice.
I'm like, no, I played around with him, never done anything. He's like, all right,
so
I'm gonna make you some, and you're gonna put lyrics to it. I'm like, okay.
Maybe Brad quit to go be a musician. Is that where
What's that?
So you're saying maybe Brad quit to go be a musician? He quit the show?
No, this was way earlier today, like fucking 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I mean, wow, you guys are quick. Me, Master Q's, you're quick, man. You are quick.
I just saw that. That was fucking insane.
You are quick, dude.
What?
That's
what
so
I missed?
good.
What I do. Jesus, I'm posting this meme. He's literally live making memes right now. Is this actually Brad?
Brad is?
No, it's not Brad. I'm just saying, me, Master Q's over here. Just made this this post of me squaring up to Batman and saying, "Hear me out, the Avengers."
Hold on, I gotta mute real quick.
It says, "Hear me out, the Avengers, like Red Dawn, like Red Dawn 2." That sounds stupid. That's my Batman. So I'm also known for doing Batman on Vine. I have Batman videos and stuff that have like millions and millions and millions of views. So like I call myself like the internet's Batman because like no one's come out since and like done anything better. So and I have a whole
about
show
the Joker? Can you do that too?
Mark Hamill's Joker, of course. Hold on.
Hello, Batman. It's me, your child. You're my daddy. You created me.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's Joker is so much fun to do.
Fantastic. Daddy. Get a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10? It's all about the energy. Thank you. Yeah, I have a show that I'm putting together called the Bat Vlog. And it's basically Batman like vlogging because he like accidentally kills Joker with a batarang. And so he's like dealing with the trauma of that. And he has court mandated like therapy, right? To do like a vlog and just record it for himself, like a video diary. And then at the end of the first episode, he like the save and the share buttons look identical. So he's like, which one is which? And so he accidentally hits the share button instead of the save button and like uploads and he's like, no. And then it ends there. Basically, like the show is about him vlogging and then he like outs himself. He doxes himself like the first episode. And so it's about his reaction to like the world finding out he's Batman. And it's all shot from, just a desk with me and my Batman outfit and my, black eye paint. And the funny thing is I wrote it all before the pandemic. And I was like planning on doing it all. And I had to like rewrite because then like everyone was locked inside. And I was like, oh my God. And people thought it was started by a bat. And I was like, oh my God. So now there's the whole thing where Batman starts the pandemic. Like, yeah. So he's like accidentally like genetically engineers a bat in his cave. He was like trying to figure out a cure for poison ivy's, serum or whatever. And he creates COVID and like releases it out of his bat cave. And he was the first one to get it, So it's a bit more of that. So speaking of making things about COVID, I just couldn't resist.
I said do it. Lean into it, man. We'll just start all the trends.
That one was too perfect. If it wasn't like three things, you know what I mean? Where it was like bats and being locked inside,
Oh, yeah.
And there would be no one to fight because I lived outside. I was like hanging out outside all day during pandemic on the streets, just like trying to get sun. And there was no one outside. Like Los Angeles, I live on Hollywood Boulevard, empty. Like ghost town.
A friend of mine worked at
tourist attractions, ghost town.
And he like took a photo of it. It was like,
empty,
that's the scariest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. It looked like they were about ready
to
so
like, terrifying.
Look at a movie set. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 28 days later.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It felt like 28 days later. My biggest regret is still not like just going out and filming a whole movie during that, like about like, the end of the world. But like, I couldn't even find one actor who would do that with me. That's how bad it was here. Like, I couldn't even find one actor who'd be willing to just go out and like I could film you from afar, bro. Just like walk down the streets, you know, like Danny Boyle did with 28 Days Later.
I love that.
Yeah, those opening shots where he just like locked down all those blocks and made it look. It's like you could do that for free during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just free
You can go
lockdown.
to any street. You can go to Hollywood Boulevard. You can go to Wilshire. Oh,
But
man.
we did. So we got a movie done. We shot a movie and got it done about the pandemic during the pandemic, and it was a little girl. It was a horror movie, and it was like took place maybe 5 years after the pandemic, and everyone had mutated into zombies, right? And like not everyone, but like a bunch of fucking people. It was like the pandemic turned into a zombie apocalypse. We shot this in the beginning. This was everyone's fear, right? And so we were playing off that fear. And it's a little girl. It's a little like 12-year-old girl who's the most killer actress. She co-wrote it, and she has all these amazing scenes, these powerful scenes. She cries in it. She's like, you know, does all this running and stunt stuff. But like, it's basically found footage shot from an iPhone. And so we had to like light it, and I had to hide all the lights. And it's my second found footage movie. But this one was like, it was really fun because it's like we had to shoot it during the pandemic. The masks sucked, obviously, because we couldn't breathe. But like to be creatively doing something about what we were going through, you know, was really helpful and therapeutic. And then to be like editing that and even just having something to do, you know, like me and my producing partner on that, he was just like, do you want to do this? I'm like, I'm going crazy, please. Because everything else had been canceled, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
That's
and then
awesome,
we won a
dude.
bunch of
That
film
must have
festivals.
felt great.
We're the only thing out. So we won a bunch of we swept a bunch of film festivals last year.
God,
You know?
Quick question in between. Like, if there's a zombie apocalypse, why do people not run for a museum and go for the nightly outfits, like full plated armor?
Exactly. I always thought that. I would go to Home Depot first, though, because then I could battle my way into the museum.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I would always go to Home Depot first to start making weapons. That would always be my first stop. It's just like, I want like a big staff, like a bow staff, with a chainsaw taped to either side, right? So like a double-sided chainsaw. That's more. I'm looking for a Darth Maul type thing, but with chainsaws, right?
Nice.
That kind of situation. And I think with that, you could do some good crowd control with a zombie. You know.
This is smarter because see, we had a group of friends growing up that were like, "We'll meet at a Costco and we'll just like hang out in a Costco and live there."
Hang out
And everyone
there.
was okay with it. And like now that I think about it, I'm like, that's just things will eventually tear out. Like we'll lose food. Like what are we gonna
Home
do?
Depot works a little bit just because you have like there's
Yes.
food there, there's snacks, and then there's all the weapons that you can make,
Mm-hmm.
and you could like literally reinforce. It's like you have everything you need to reinforce the outside of it on the inside already.
And you can make bombs, right? You can use like kitchen.
You could you have fertilizer.
You can make fertilizer. You
fertilizer.
can make bombs.
Yeah, go to the roof and you can like eliminate all the zombies. So it's like I've thought about this. You'll find me at Home Depot. If anything goes down, guys, hit me up. Find me at the Hollywood Home Depot. That's where you'll find me. I will be sitting on the top. I will have a throne made, and I'll just be watching as we just pour napalm. I will be making napalm inside. We'll have a whole napalm factory. I will just be burning zombies out front.
And see, that's where we get the normalcy. We have our jobs. Everyone's got to get up and make napalm. Yep.
Oh, that's very important. Yeah, you have to like have your whole. Did you guys ever watch The Walking Dead?
I cut out probably around season 3 or 4.
First season, and then I couldn't watch no more.
Okay, there's a great villain. He's Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He was like Sam and Dean's dad from Supernatural.
Negan.
But he's Negan. He plays this villain, Negan. And Negan's like the most brutal dude ever, and you hate him because he kills main characters, but he's like, his shit runs. You know, his society runs. Everyone has their job, and so it's like it's hard to hate him because like, you know, he like gives the characters stability, but he's also like a bad guy. You know? And so it's like it's this interesting thing. That's what I love about that show is that kind of dichotomy of like when it comes down to it, that's who we are at the core. Like we still are savage creatures, you know. We still are competitive, and we're just pretending that we're like monkeys in suits, you know. That's why it's perfect. This whole Bored Ape thing happened because it's like that's what we are. We're monkeys pretending to be like civilized, but at the end of the day, we're still very like savage and brutal. Because I've met people that you guys know and admire very well in these NFT spaces that are preach wag me all day and have been very brutal with me personally in business over the last 15 years. You know, it's like not like the Web3 people are new. They're still the same assholes from Web2. You know, now they just said, oh, I tacked a Web3 on my thing. So now everyone forgot that I was a douchebag over there. So it's like, you know, and I'll eventually, when we get bigger, you know, and I'll start spilling my tea on all the people that I've worked with that have screwed me over because I'm happy. I'll get screwed over and then I'll go and I'll be like, one day, 15 years from now, I'll tell everyone, you know, like, so not even for maximum effect, just like, you know, like not even good timing or anything. It's just like, eventually I will tell my stories and
You're writing that memoir.
Dude, my memoirs are going to be called "You Would Never Believe Me." Yeah, because no one would ever believe me. If I took all the stories and weird shit that's happened in my life, and like amount of times I randomly like got famous or blew up or weird stuff, where it was just like no one would ever believe me. That's why I need a 2.5
Yeah,
hour
and that's
space.
why the aliens won't visit us. The
Yeah.
entire meme and the culture and a joke.
No,
Because we're
you're
still
exactly
monkeys.
right. That's what you're referring to is the Fermi paradox, right?
Yes.
You should totally write
The
a
Fermi
book,
paradox. Was that Joseph?
Cristiano.
What's that, Brett?
You should write a book, bro.
I said it's going to be called "You'd Never Believe Me."
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the name of my memoirs. I should start writing it now before I forget all my stories and memories. You know, you're supposed to write it as you go, right? So it's like do it like a dump of the last 20 years and then be like, okay, now I'm fresh and now I can form new memories. Clear my brain. But yeah, the Fermi paradox. So the Fermi paradox is actually a mathematical question, which is basically in mathematical terms, but in layman's terms, like where the fuck are all the aliens? Like that's essentially what the Fermi paradox. The Fermi paradox is like if there's infinite worlds and like there's so many planets and any of them could have life, where are they? Where are they at? Why didn't they visit us? Where are they? And so there's like one of two answers: either there are no aliens, which is mathematically next to improbable, or that like they don't have the technology to reach us, which is also mathematically not really possible. So the third one is really the logical solution. The third option is like we're quarantined. Like we're not allowed to visit us because like we will throw bombs at them if they come. You know, which I know we will because I know humans. Like right now, that's totally what we would do. Like the movie Arrival, spot on.
Cristiano,
Yes.
there's another possibility though that
That
they're
we're in the
already
simulation.
here. They're already here. That, you know,
Yeah,
that's possible
yeah.
too.
Here in the Men in Black, this is the Men in Black theory, right? Like that they're here in
Yeah,
disguise.
yeah.
There's like government agencies that are just like making sure that no one ever finds out.
Yeah, there was already a guy from I believe the Canadian National Defense a couple years ago that came out and said not only aliens exist, but a lot of countries already have diplomatic relationships with them. And I saw
Oh,
that.
there's a ton of Operation High Jump. There's a ton of like different operations where it's like it's in there, and in the Vault 7 dump you can read. You know, also I personally believe that one, but I believe like in terms of why can't we have like public contact, right? It is the third option. It's the Fermi. It's like the idea that we are a Type 0 civilization, and we need to get to a Type 1 before we're allowed out of quarantine.
we might be like a negative something.
We get in the negative 0.
We're
I
like
agree with
negative
that.
like
Yeah.
or something. We're low.
But you
But
know,
the
I
level
personally believe no, I believe we're like a Type 0.9 right now. We're so
yeah,
close, and this is what the breakthrough is. This is what the breakthrough feels like,
we could be.
in my opinion.
But
I think this is us breaking through
you're
from a
talking
warlike.
about like level 1, 2, and 3, right? Like
Yeah.
those
So
levels.
yeah, like there's Type 0 is basically your tribal and your warlike, and you're you're not able to. There's a list of like different like qualities that they give to each of the types, right? It's called the is it the Gordyshev scale, I think, or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember the name of the actual thing, but if you look up Type 0 civilization, you'll see what I mean. And the idea is we're trying to get to a Type 1 where we have like no more paper currency. That's actually one big part of it, which is interesting that we're all doing here with crypto. One big part of it is no paper currency. No slavery. It's a big part of it, right? And so we're working on that too. So there's certain injustices in the world that have been put in place due to like capitalism and like the British Empire that need to be rectified before we're allowed to kind of participate in what they call like exopolitics. And exopolitics would be like politics between planets.
I believe equality is in that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like what we have in the Geneva Convention, or like we need a new Geneva Convention that's going to enable like bodily autonomy. You know,
But you think
like,
that we're
no
at a
one can tell you to
0.9?
take something you don't
Like,
want to take.
you think that even with our current status, like, not, I mean, globally, you think we're still at a 0.9, or do you like you think we're actually that close to getting to a 1?
I genuinely think that this is like the breakthrough to being like a Type 1 civilization in contact. Like, I think that humans are so close, and the fact that this stuff is happening so fast, maybe
You're right, Chris.
it might take 5 more years, but like I think that this is what it would require. We'd have to start
Like
being
we're all
like
kind
this
of
for
like waiting up from the Matrix kind of thing. Yeah.
There's people on this space right now from Nigeria, from America, from Australia, from you know, and we're forming around like tribes of like thought tribes and
I see
not
what you're
around.
saying. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, not even around race. It's globalization and versus globalism, right? Where globalism is
But
the
also,
central control of the planet by one governing body, whereas globalization is the interaction and movement of ideas between the people of said planet.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what I mean? So people, when I say, like, because I'll say this, something like, "You sound like a globalist," and I'm like, "No, I know globalism is the worst thing that's for this planet. I don't think that's correct. I think we should have smaller, more powerful local governments, and because that makes more sense. Like my neighborhood needs to make different rules, you know, than Drang's neighborhood. We live in very
Right.
different neighborhoods, right? So it's like we need to have very different rules, like water usage rules, you know, like land use, like everything, just everything. And that's what people who get down on the EU are so down about, because they're like, there's like water regulations and things like that affect, you know, Italy, and affect, you know, like a country that's nothing at all, like the south, even the south of Italy and the north of Italy are two different countries, right? Like geographically and temperature wise and everything. Like they're two very different climates, right? So, and Italy doesn't have a bunch of states; it just has Italy, right? And
yeah,
so now, and that was already crazy enough for an Italian government to try to handle all that land, and now they're saying one government's going to handle all of Europe, you know. So versus what it should be is local governments, in my opinion, local governments control and work with, you know, like control the rules and laws, because those are the people. Like I can go to the local courthouse. I can't go to Washington. You know, that's like what they're planning on. If I was to be a senator, I would have to move to Washington, D.C. I don't want to live in Washington, D.C. See what I mean? So it's like
I'm
I'm way more likely to
not
become like
sure.
a local city council person of Los Angeles.
I'm just not sure we're that close to being level 1. I'd like to hope so, but I think
We
we're
would
more
need
like,
to do what I'm saying. Like we would need to like all take an interest in local government, and then like our society would have to move to a reputation based economy, and not a like proof of work, proof of stake, proof of use type thing. It would have to be like, you know, like really like your social score in a way, but the social score, I don't think it's the right way, the way China's doing it. But like eventually it's like the cryptocurrency plus your followers plus all that stuff is going to get aggregated into like a
Yeah,
number.
please not on the social score. That would be horrible. I mean, I'd be
Yeah.
like Black Mirror, the lowest sinking
That's what I'm
point. I
saying.
mean,
As scary as that is, Betsy, that's where I think we're headed to be a type one. It's like we need to get to the Black Mirror level where it's like everyone has a score, but then it becomes scary because you can rate each other, you know?
absolutely, and it would go crazy.
My co-host is here, everyone. Brad, are you okay? I'm so glad you're MIA and not KIA. We thought you
Brad,
were maybe REM.
is Brad ever okay?
Brad is never okay. That's a good point. Brad, were you hiding in your garage behind your car? What were you doing?
I think he was standing in the
Were you
corner.
crying in the shower?
Wow. He was crying in the shower. He was in timeout.
Crying in the shower. Brad,
Oh, that's great. That's just fucking great.
are you carpeting a little bit? What's wrong? Brad?
What?
I just hear Is he carpeting for you guys too?
I hear carpeting.
You hear what?
I hear carpeting.
Okay, cool. He's jumping out and coming back in. But yeah, no, I know we got sci-fi utopia in there for a second, but that's, you know, that's where my head's at most of the time, especially right now, because it's like we genuinely are reshaping the world. So it's like we actually should have discussions about, and everyone should go read the book Utopia, like read, you know, or like concept of utopia, because basically the idea behind it is like you can build a perfect society. You just really, really, really need to plan and plan for like human greed and allow human greed to be part of it, you know. And like in that way, like if you can incentivize people to like what Elon Musk is doing, he's incentivizing people financially to put solar tiles on their roof so that like they can make money.
But I'm saying, why can't we all have it all? You know what I mean?
Why can't we just all get along?
I mean, that's the thing. It's like there is abundance. It's all around us. It's just we're taught and told that there's not, because that's how capitalism works in scarcity and supply and demand, right? Like you
Right.
could print 10 million you could print 7 billion Bored Apes. They could totally do that. That wouldn't cost them anything extra. Like, you know what I mean? Like they could totally provide one for everyone on the
You know
planet.
what? You know what?
Make
I
them all
got an
worthless.
idea. I got an idea.
I'm going to do an NFT collection, and I'm going to make 1.21 gigawatts of them.
There you go. Brad, where were you? Do you have a note from your doctor or your mom?
Casually knocked me out, man.
Physically? Like you casually got in a fist fight and he punched you in the face?
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you go down like a bitch?
Yep.
Yeah, it makes sense too. This is all checking out. Okay, your story's checking out.
Guy,
what happened?
I thought he was like 6 foot something. We're the same fucking height.
And then he punched you in the face?
Straight. Just straight out. Just straight armed me. Fucking right in the noggin.
What did you do to provoke him?
I made him cry. With my words.
So what were you really doing, Brad?
I fell asleep.
I knew it. He was REM.
Yeah.
I owe myself $5.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so Brad, actually the funny thing is we were just talking a bit about screenwriting, and then we got into building a new society. We got into aliens and why they haven't visited us.
Yeah.
And then we got into
what
we have to do to build a society where the aliens will be allowed to come visit us.
Hold on.
Because we'll be in line with the rest of the galaxy.
What do you mean aliens haven't visited
aliens
us?
As in intergalactic planetary.
But have not visited us?
No, well, we were saying that they're definitely already here and among us, but for it to become public and for us to be allowed to do exopolitics, which is politics with other planets and other.
But it has become public.
Yes, but exopolitics isn't a thing. There's no peace talks set up publicly between the heads of our countries and other planets right now, so we're not there yet.
Okay.
So I'm saying
so not like the same kind of thing where they release not that everybody already
ain't no one gonna do business with
about
us
the Area 51 stuff and all that kind of crap.
I'm thinking bigger than that. I mean, I know about that stuff since X-Files.
All right.
I saw X-Files and I was like, got it. Next.
Okay, so here we go with the no adult supervision, and you go off in La La Land.
No, because we were talking. It all made sense because we were talking about screenwriting. And here's something I know, something that you don't know. Betsy over here.
I take blame for everything. Full responsibility. The alien subject that came from my corner.
Yeah, actually, it was probably all you. But can you tell Brad what you told me at the beginning in regards to NFT blocks? Because I think it's funny.
Man.
Oh wait, just to get it straight out, just repeating what I told about NFT blocks earlier.
Yeah, that you literally today. What happened?
Oh yeah.
What you decided?
Yeah, today it's my last working day for NFT blocks, and I'll still be doing some art for them. And the creation there of Betsy, how she came to be was based on the logo. So I drafted all of their colors from the logo, and from that point forward, Betsy came into being a mascot, and then she became a thing on NFT blocks very much. And I saw her grow up. It's like watching your kid grow up.
She grew up.
Well, and we made them feel bad earlier about that too, because we were in the NFT block space today. And we were all like, Betsy is an asset to NFT blocks, and if y'all let it go, you guys are fucking stupid, all this crazy stuff. And they're like, okay, for you, we will look into it.
Yeah, but I don't think that didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen.
No,
it's the opposite.
No, I mean, you got me there in the first half. You got me.
You had us in the first half.
We did say you were an asset. We did do that. I did that, didn't I?
Yeah, well, maybe I am, or maybe I was.
You are. You helped me so much.
I did sign her up. And...
You did. I will not take this lying down. I might take it kneeling or on my side or doing a handstand, but I will not take this lying down.
Brad, my point was that it was very funny and ironic that the day we get Betsy to come on and talk about Nifty was her last day. And so instead, we've been talking about art and comics, and she's an amazing artist, and she drew that.
Yeah, she is actually. Yeah, very factual facts.
But I was saying I saved all the wax talk for y'all. So if y'all want to go into the Nifty block stuff, feel free, because I'm still.
Yes.
She's still on good terms. We're all still family.
So hey, I got a story about wax.
I got a story. I got a
Well,
story about.
it's
I
about
got a story
gods and
about a guy
legends.
who has a story, and his name is Formula, and it starts like right now. Once upon a
Hey.
time, right now, Formula is going to tell us a story. See? Ha.
Yeah. So no, something went down with gods and legends and the uplift world. That
No.
I know when you're mentioning it, everyone just stay quiet, and I was like, what the hell? But accordingly, Corey, he's the founder of the uplift, and I sent him a picture of a spam NFT that I received from someone,
No.
and then he's like, oh, it all happened. He goes, it all happened from the split from
No, it
Gods
wasn't
and
me. I got an
Legends.
alibi. What?
Yeah. So it's like it was from Gods and Legends. It was I guess they had some beef and they split up and
Gods
they
and
left the
Legends
whole project
had beef with who?
with the Uplift World.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, and they left the whole project, and I remember seeing the Gods and Legends logo in the actual metaverse map, and they're still there, but they just left them there, and I guess they never took them down, so their logos are still in the metaverse map, but
That
that
is
I
so
know
hard to
of.
believe, man. Because
Yeah,
Arthur
and
is like one of the nicest guys ever. I don't see him having
yeah,
beef with anybody.
and Nefty Blocks, I think Juan, or I think his name's Juan. He's like very friends with Corey, and they have a lot of
Which
projects coming up.
which one?
Uh, I think it's from Nefty Blocks, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you said Juan. I said which Juan?
Oh, I don't know.
Number Juan, of course. Number Juan. He's wonderful.
Yeah.
The
I
only
could go
Oh,
on
Juan.
all day.
He is
Yeah.
the only
oh,
Juan.
oh, oh, oh.
So
Sorry.
The chosen
yeah,
Juan.
so I
Okay.
don't know. It seems like something went really wrong with Gods and Legends and the Wax project. So I was like, I don't know all the story, but I do have some text from
Well,
Corey
whatever we
that sent
don't
me.
know, whatever we don't know, we'll just make it up.
Yeah, we sure
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
Nothing's
But that's my
changed.
story. That's
I
my
will
story.
talk to Arthur and I will get to the bottom of this. If my name is
Yeah.
not Brad Bronson, I will figure
See?
this out
He made that
myself.
up too. And we make everything up. So even if like we can't figure it out, we'll just make up an answer that sounds like we're really convincing, and that's expert advice. Because a lot of times
Uh-huh.
it's believing in yourself
Yep.
and just giving a confident answer, and people will go away. And that's really what you're trying to achieve.
Factual facts.
You're trying to achieve getting someone to go. No, I'm joking. I try to be as informational and helpful as
Okay.
possible.
And
And if I don't know, we will point you to someone who does. We will direct
and
you to an
because I
expert who
was
can help
like
you.
because I passed out and I was late for the show, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my huge ass motherfucking party speaker outside into my garage and I'm gonna blast music into my
Yeah, you
neighborhood.
have like 4 songs to play, Brad. You owe us
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
intro
But I'm gonna
music
blast
and
it.
retweet the show.
I'm
Play
gonna
retweet the
blast it. We're
show.
gonna
Okay,
see if I can get either Bilo to come here or if I can get arrested.
I know,
What
but
do you
before you
say?
do that, can
What
you
do you
just
say?
do?
Everybody
I say
scream.
you do your job real quick, before that.
Hey,
Woo!
Brad.
Thanks, Brad. Could you
Guess
do your
what?
job real quick?
Yeah.
Play retweet the
Brad,
show, please,
Okay.
Brad.
Uh-huh.
Please.
I
Yeah.
forgot to
Thank you.
retweet the show because Brad didn't play the
Yeah, no
song.
fucking shit,
Jeez.
Brad.
Okay. Okay.
Play
Okay. Okay. That's
the
it. That's it.
song that
I'm telling
helps
my
the show
mom. First of
grow.
all, I'm telling my mom, and then
Water your
I'm
plant,
kicking.
Brad. You made a commitment to this show, and you're already an hour late. Play the song that helps us grow. We're starving. The song helps us grow. We need
I'm
nourishment.
telling my
It is
mom.
our sunlight. Okay, well, tell your mom to play the show right now.
I'm
We need it.
moving the speaker outside.
Why do we have to do
Sing it
outside?
acoustically if you have to. You know what I mean, Brad?
Why is getting arrested part of it? Why can't we just listen to the song? Or you could send me the song so I could play it.
Oops.
Brad.
Shit, I accidentally muted everybody.
I know, Brad. You know, this show was running really well before you got here, buddy. We were cruising along. There's a natural flow of ideas, and
Oh my
we're
god.
building the future.
We're
I am
talking about
taking over
aliens.
and fucking
Talking
up
about
my own
aliens.
space. How do you like that?
I would like it if
out
you
of
fuck
space.
up your own space by playing
Not
music like you
today.
usually do. Can you please just do the thing you're known for? Is
I
your
still
middle
like to hear
name
the
Brad?
utilities of the.
Do your job,
Yeah.
Brad.
Is your middle
I
name
got
Brad Annoying Banter NFTs? No, it's
I
Brad
got
Music
2
NFTs.
utilities.
So play your music.
Shush. Shush. Here we go.
Thank you. We did it. Everyone, if you haven't already, go retweet the show. I'm sorry I didn't play it earlier. I don't have access to the song percentage. So if you haven't yet, go retweet the show. It helps us grow. It's like water.
Someone told me there's a show you have never been before, but I know.
Is that Brad?
Why your friends and their mamas have gone, where Cristiano gives advice, and he will pass you the mic. But oh no, here comes Brad's laughter, and I wanna know, have you retweeted the show? And we all wanna know, have you retweeted the show? If you have not, what you waiting for? Yeah, man, what's taking so long?
I use social proof, and I know you won't look it up. Everybody knows this. Because everybody.
That is super dope. Yeah.
Thank you. Guys, Crypto Construction, you never heard that?
It.
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
You never heard that one?
And another word from our sponsor, Formula 69.
These guys, they're killing it, guys.
So Formula 69 made all this music for us because he's just the best. Unsolicited.
I love it.
I guess you don't know why you came here tonight. Got a feeling these two ain't right. But you laugh and you fall off the chair, and they're cool and they're chill and they're fair. Cause Brad's on the left, Cristiano's on the right. Here we are stuck in the middle again. Here we are stuck in the middle again. Cause Brad's on the left, Cristiano's on the right. Here we are stuck in the middle again. Here we are stuck in the middle again. And all I can say is that we'll be alright. And all I can say is that we'll be alright with you. With you.
Brought to you by Formula 69.
My dogs agree.
My personal favorite.
Este es el show de comedia y de música, donde escucharás a Brad y a Cristiano, y te darán consejos para tu libertad. Y por la risa de este par saldrás bien miado. Bambolero, bambolea, porque la vida la prefiero vivir así. Bamboleo, bambolea, porque la vida la prefiero vivir así. Vale, tío, cuando me estás escuchando esa
¡Ay, ay, ay!
NFT, vale.
Y quiero Taco Bell.
Quiero Taco Bell. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Super dope, guys. I love it.
So those were created by Formula 69 over here. And Brad, did you see the pinned tweet? So Mr. Q's over here, me, Master Q's, was listening to our show and just literally, I mean, you're not going to get the joke. You'd have to listen to it to understand the joke.
What just happened to Dave?
I don't know.
Did
you play the music?
Hey, don't forget Donald.
Yeah, Donald wrote "Stuck in the Meadow with You," like totally unsolicited, and then I sent it to Formula, and he recorded the song and like made it into a song. But Donald like completely unsolicited, and he didn't even tell me it was "Stuck in the Middle with You." He just like wrote the lyrics, and then I was like, "That's stuck in the middle with you," and he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Awesome."
Dear Lord.
Yeah, those are awesome.
They're so great.
So Betsy, what do you think?
NFT Parody Master, I love your name. Hey Betsy, what did you think of our songs? What do you think of our awesome music?
She's overjoyed and is lost for words.
I think she passed out because it was so good.
Too much to take?
Yeah.
Or she's
I
carping?
passed out too.
Well, Brad passed out before the show even started. She's there. She goes.
Nope.
Nope.
Record 1-9er. Come in 1-9er.
Betsy, if you're speaking, we can't hear you, but we see that your mic is unmuted. So maybe jump out and jump back on, and I'll throw a mic at you.
But
don't worry, we won't talk about you while you're gone. I promise. We only do that to Brad.
Why would you promise something like that?
We only do that to you.
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about her.
Oh, did you hear? Did you listen to what happened last time with yesterday's show?
I did. That was very nice of you.
Aw,
I thought I didn't listen to it last night because I thought it was going to be something like annoying and like obnoxious. So I was going to be like get angry before I went to sleep, and I was like, no, I got to go to bed. I can't like go tune in to like whatever the fuck shit Brad was talking about.
You should be able to hear me.
There we go.
And I commend it with like I exploded from overjoy and guess you guys just didn't hear
Betsy
it.
is dead.
Yeah, I just died. Pepsi.
She just died. She spontaneously combusted into
Pepsi.
joy.
What other spaces have you been on that have songs like that about their spaces?
None.
Who has 3 theme songs?
None, Brad. None.
Most spaces don't even have one theme song. We have 3.
I've heard one
Shut up.
space. It was a Solana space.
No, sorry. You heard one what? Who? What space?
It was the Solana space. I forget the exact name.
Some bullshit, man. Throw it craziness.
It was a hip hop one though.
That wasn't me, guys. I didn't write it. That wasn't me.
Okay.
It wasn't me.
Sorry, Betsy. You were saying? What'd you say? Sorry.
I was just saying none, and also pun intended. Going back into the conversation.
Pun always intended.
We got jokes. Everybody's
we
got jokes.
Betsy got jokes for days. That's what I'm saying, Brad.
It's rare, but I do have them.
More than worthy co-hosts.
You got
over
them.
here.
Yeah, you got them. That's good.
We've had more than worthy co-hosts. We've been fine without you. We've been fine without you.
You know what?
We don't even need you.
You know what?
You're not my real dad.
I am so sorry,
true.
dude. Honestly, you know what? My last memory before I passed out, I was clicking on the fucking space.
You clicked room 3, and then you passed out. That's what happened. You clicked room 3.
Possibly.
You clicked episode 3, and then it rugged you out of your body and you instantly. Formula, by the way, I fixed episode 3. No one go tap it right now because it will pull you out of the room.
It will.
But I fixed it today.
Totally.
So.
Takes you to a black hole.
Oh my god.
Yeah, before it took you to a black hole. You know why? Because Brad sent me all these links and he was like, use these. Brad was like, use these links. They totally work. These links are fine. And he was like, assured me 10 times. And I was like, I don't think they work. And then I posted it, and I guess they didn't work, Brad.
That's so bad.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, you're bad at the internet.
I'm sorry that I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You're sorry. You're sorry. You're sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're sorry that I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But both of us can't be sorry.
Why not?
Because then it cancels itself out, eh?
Really? It's like an integer sorry, eh?
Yeah, it's like a negative and a negative, eh? You can't both be sorry. If you're too sorry, it's about who's the sorriest.
Formula. Who's the sorriest?
Well, Brad is Canadian.
Who sores the most?
That was coming.
Brad's the
I set
sorriest.
myself up for that. Thanks, Donald.
You are
now a ventriloquist for Formula 69.
Thank God somebody answered.
He's like, I'm not touching this one with a stick. Nope, not today. Not today.
Not today.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah. No. So, what theme song did you play to open the space?
I played the original one. I played the trip hop.
The big band, the big band thing.
Yeah, nice. I found that Time to Get Stupid was just like stupid. It's a little bit stupid. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
It's a little bit too stupid for me.
I have a question for Formula real quick.
7.
That's
the answer
okay.
7. You
Is
and
that
your
okay?
freaking math questions all the time.
It's not even a math question.
Now you got to ask 2 questions because is that okay? Was your first question, so now you just burned it. So you got to ask another question.
All right. The second question. This one is directed directly at Formula 69. Have you ever written a song called Your Mom?
What?
What? That's an honest question.
I'm not sure.
Well, what was the question?
Have you ever written a song called Your Mom?
No, I have not.
Oh, that'd be cool. You know.
Oh, it sounds more like a
Well,
request than a question
But
now.
whose
yeah,
mom is
yeah.
a commission? He's commissioning you to write a song.
Yeah,
I,
pretty
I
So
much.
don't know.
what's is there
I think it's everybody's mom.
But everyone's
like
mom in
something?
Everybody's
general.
mom.
Yeah, I gotta get a little bit more info on the mom. What type of mom?
Gem. That was gem cutters right there.
I need some like music to like wake my ass up.
Yeah, apparently someone needs to wake your ass up.
Yeah.
Brad, you had
Is
3
this okay,
alarms,
or
right?
can you hear it in the background?
Yeah, you're fine.
Is
You
that
had
good?
like 3 alarms, right? You had
I
alarms. You had
no.
redundancies for your alarms.
I
You
was
had
up at 8 o'clock and I literally passed out right at 8 o'clock. I was like, it was slow motion as I'm pushing
the
on like
funniest
the
thing about this, guys, is
avatar to
Brad was
jump in.
over
I
in
was
the
like,
Nefty box space bragging about how many alarms he set.
no.
Brad, you were over in the Nefty box space
Yeah.
3 or 4 hours ago bragging about how many alarms you set and have set. You were like, I have 3 alarms, and I have alarms for my alarms, and I have all these alarms, and then you slept in. He was talking a big game, but then you slept in. It's
I
almost like you
didn't.
knew.
It's not like I slept to wake up to go into
I
the
heard on the
show.
radio today that
I was
somebody had
already up.
166 alarms.
106
That's more
alarms
than
to
you,
wake
Brad.
up.
You lose the award. You lose the world record. I'm
Man,
sorry.
I don't know.
Thank you for fact checking,
I think
Donald.
next time you need to set more alarms. Break the
Yeah,
record,
set
Brad.
107,
Oh
Brad.
my god.
Like, I
Seriously.
love sessions, but you know how tempted I am to rap for 444 hours and 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Just because, but I would never do it because I love him. So I'm just like, let him have it. Like, not let him have it. Sorry.
Let him have it.
That came
Oh
out
man,
wrong.
you's in trouble.
That came out wrong. You know what I meant. Like never even try to touch that. Like, never even, because I don't even know if I
Yeah.
could do it. You know, like,
No.
he might just be a fucking like superhuman.
Yeah, plus the rules of 4 hours, every 4 hours, like for a 4 hour stint, you can't use the same fucking words. And then the next 4 hours, okay, you could use words from the
I thought
last
it was
4 hours.
40 minutes.
No, 4 hours.
Wow.
No
That's
shit.
hard.
No fucking yeah.
4 hours, not the same words, but he's like, you can't repeat the same phrase every 4
Phrase,
hours.
yes. Well, words
That's
make up a
still pretty
phrase.
hard. Well, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. What if you're like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You
that's,
can
I
never
say
you can
that
use the once. No, I'm kidding.
each word you get to use it up once, and if you use it again, they
That's
shoot you with a paintball. You say
yeah.
the again.
Woo!
My
I
dogs
would
agreed.
pay to see
He
that.
said, "Oh,
Nice.
can I
Whoa.
help you?
Oh, that's better.
Can I help you?"
Oh, here we
That's
go.
my border
Fan
collie.
favorite. Fan favorite. Walked by my garage and I was like, "No, sorry, man, not you."
Well, I do hope David comes back. We should send him a DM and
Yeah, that was weird.
see if maybe he
Did
didn't like Brad's vibe, because he was like
I
totally
followed
like,
him last time you guys mentioned him,
yeah,
and he asked me what TV show I was writing when he answered me back.
nice.
So I told him.
And so I told him.
Did you guys
Maybe
have a
he
good
like
Father's Day,
lied.
Brad?
Maybe
For
he
you,
like
Brad,
I
did you have
know
a
lied.
good
that you
Father's
have
Day?
a daughter.
I'm going to reach out
Brad, did
to.
you have a good Father's Day?
I had an awesome Father's Day. Thank you. I did.
Donald, how about you? How was your Father's Day?
I I tasked my daughter with actually nothing. No, she woke up. She made me bacon and eggs for breakfast. She did that all on her own, even though I did not leave a note to ask her to make me bacon and eggs. And then she did some yard work, and I didn't even have to ask her, even though it was not on the same note that had the breakfast on it. And then we went over to my parents' place and had barbecue with my dad. It was fucking awesome. And then I was back home for the show. That part was not on the note, though. Yeah.
I spent my Father's Day tamping dirt to get our plot of
Okay.
land to grade.
You doing
And
interlock brick?
oh no, we're building a house.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so we have a giant hole and we have the outside graded and we're getting some cement this week. But Father's Day was also my birthday, so I had a fantastic time. I spent it with my family,
Happy
and
birthday!
thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
I wanted to come up
This is your
and
birthday
speak last
song.
night,
It is not
but
very long.
I know, but you were busy.
yeah, I was
Should have come
super
up.
busy. So I did come up and listen for a little bit, but that's all I could,
You should have told
unfortunately,
us
do.
it was your birthday. We would have sang happy birthday to you on the show. We
Thank
would
you.
have made asses out of ourselves over here. We would have sang
More
like 2
than?
hours of birthday. We would have sang more than usual. I mean, normally we are distinguished gentlemen who care about their reputation
Do it.
in this
I'm gonna be the
industry.
bad influence. I'm gonna say, do it, do it, do it.
Yeah, Brad,
Yeah.
sing him happy birthday. It
You
was
want me to
your
sing him happy
idea.
birthday?
Yeah.
Seriously? Okay.
Do it, Brad.
Let me just prepare. Hold on a second.
Or we can sing the Beatles' birthday song. Or we can
Just
sing
wanted
the
to
Stevie
say,
Wonder's one.
if I was challenged to rap for 4 hours straight via freestyle, I think I could keep it rocking for 4 hours without letting it go lame.
Zolo, but he'd have to do 44 hours. And then he couldn't repeat the phrase
It's
every
a
4
lyrical
hours. He couldn't repeat.
exercise.
I think if you had a list of keywords that was long enough to keep you distracted for
Yeah,
4
so
hours, I think Zolo could do it for sure.
I
he
mean,
has
bro,
his
have you
auto.
ever stood watch before on the ship? What do you think you do for 4 hours staring at the fucking ocean at
Straight
the
up.
middle of the night?
Straight up, bro. Good point. Is that where you learn to
Hey,
freestyle?
shout out to the sailors everywhere freestyling for 4 hours straight, waiting for their person to come relieve them from watch, but they overslept just like Brad. Brad, you know, people like you
Yeah.
despise. Well, I'm sorry. Let
People
me
like you,
rephrase.
Brad, are the reason why people like Zolo and I can freestyle.
Yes,
Because we wait
because
for
we've been
people like
stuck
y'all.
waiting on your ass to wake up
So
at
we
2 in
sitting
the
there
fucking
rapping.
morning. Yeah, you missed watch, bro. Now I can eat because you overslept
Okay.
and missed watch.
You miss
Sorry.
was. Oh,
I
I'd be
had to
so
I had to
pissed.
clear my throat. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Happy birthday, Donald. This is for you, buddy.
Thank you, Mary.
Is that okay? Was that good? Was that good?
That
That
was
was
great.
perfect. Thank you very much.
That was good.
It was
Awesome.
great, man. Let me go after you, man. Let me go after you. There it goes.
Oh snap!
No one is in their house. Everyone is here with me. 'Cause today I will become the birthday boy, and you will see. One more year, and one more day. It's all making my head turn gray. I hear the doorbell barely ring, and all my friends, oh, here they came. They all bring gifts for Donald. Happy birthday, man.
Let's
From the expert
go. Thank
advice.
you.
There you go.
Oh,
Thank you so much. That was awesome.
sure. I channel out to Marilyn Monroe, and you just bust a live freestyle happy birthday.
Brad played the most incriminating birthday song of all time.
I had to
It was
save
like
you,
the
man. I had to
moment
save
everyone
you.
was like, so they're fucking, right?
What do you mean? I channeled my innerland,
Marilyn?
my
Marilyn
inner
Monroe?
Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, that
No,
was
you
me.
sounded spot on. I'm just saying
Fucking
that
right
was
it
the
was.
moment
Yeah, right.
where America found out of their tawdry affair.
Oh wait, does that mean it sounded like me and Donald had an affair?
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like you were
Uh-oh.
secretly like, you know,
Oops.
like singing like
You've been wanting it forever.
sensually.
Oh god.
There's definitely something going on there.
Well,
Not me, Brad,
I
but
always
someone
say
else
Donald's
might have
like the
taught me.
Weird Al of Twitter,
Yes,
and I
someone
really
may
do
have
like
taken it
Weird
more
Al.
sensually.
Maybe subconsciously.
Maybe subconsciously.
I
Brad has a
don't
thing
know.
for funny musicians.
I don't know.
That's his
This
thing.
is fucked up. This is fucked up. I'm gonna have to work this out in therapy.
Yeah, Brad's gonna have to go work this out.
Did you say
Yeah.
sensually? Christian?
Therapy.
Yes.
Okay, I was just
Therapy is the name of Brad's gym.
Therapy.
No, I'm just kidding. Therapy is a gay club in WeHo.
Yo, that's the mental gym. You know what I mean?
Therapy
Lord.
is the name of the new gay club in his town.
Oh god, Lord help me.
I'm working. I told him I was gonna work this out in therapy.
Each it. Uh-oh.
He won't wake up.
Wow.
I think we all know Mother Nature, right?
You all know Mother Nature. Good
Yeah.
thing we're all watching our mouths. Like I've been watching my mouth this whole time, just for you to play like Wheezy just cursing, and he gets all the curses for the show. It's not fair.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm done now. I think I've
This is
redeemed myself for the
this is my
lateness.
version of watching my mouth, though, Brad. You know, like
Okay,
me
I'm
cursing
done.
every 2 minutes
I'm
instead of
done.
every 30 seconds, or
I'm done.
using like basically the difference for me is whether or not I'm using the F word as a filler word, or if I'm using
Yeah.
it as an expletive.
Oh my god.
Because normally I'll be like, yeah, you know, fucking the fucking thing over there. Is fucking.
Over there.
That's how I
You're over
actually
here.
talk.
I'm over there. We're over
That's
here.
how I actually talk.
Right.
This is my accent that I learned to do in Connecticut. It's called the continental accent.
The continental accent.
Continental accent,
Well,
and
good
that's why
sir, I
no one
quite
knows
like
what
it.
state
I
I'm
have no.
from.
It sounds very British or English, though.
No, that was me doing an accent, but like the actual accent I have
Yeah.
is not New York, and it's not L.A., and it's not. It's a
Oh.
mixture of a bunch of places.
Oh. Man, I got Subway cookies. What a mistake.
But in England, when I lived in England for a year and a half, they thought I was from Canada.
Really?
Yeah, like every day they're like, "Are you from Canada?" I'm like,
Huh.
"No," and they're like, "Your accent sounds like you're Canadian." I'm like,
I
"Okay,
would.
I thought I sound like I'm from New York or something." I don't know.
I don't.
Anyway,
I don't know. I wouldn't say every New Yorker. It's definitely got that Italian, like tough guy kind of accent. Even the
Italiano.
girls.
Betsy, where are you from? Or, I keep calling you Betsy. What's your name?
Netherlands.
It's
Yeah.
Saul.
No, the netherworld, the underworld.
Betsy's
Oh.
from the underworld.
Oh
Wow.
yeah.
Do you like Chilling Adventures of Sabrina?
Hold up. Could you repeat that one?
Have you seen? Have you read any of the new Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, like the comic or the show? I guess the new show.
No, I haven't.
No, I feel like your art style would lend itself super well to that. But you should check out the new, like the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, because like your witch
Ooh.
character, like reminds me, Betsy character reminds me so much of like how they drew it and like how like the like I
Yeah.
can get into it, but like your line
There's a
work is
thing behind
exquisite.
Betsy, why she is what she is, and for many people, I don't care what they call her. To me, she'll always be the awesome wizard, because deaf ops.
Excellent. How crazy is that? That I'm literally I didn't do that on purpose. I just have a wizard at my PFP today. I decided to wear. I mean, you see in my emoji, that's what I do instead of
Yeah,
my PFP.
yeah,
In my name, I wore a wizard, and you're a wizard.
yeah,
You're a wizard,
yeah,
Betsy.
yeah.
You're a
I'm a
wizard.
wizard. Now, man.
So, what is Betsy's
It
backstory, if you don't mind sharing a little bit of it?
um Betsy's backstory hasn't really been defined as of yet, so perhaps
Okay.
there will be something about it in the future. To me, she is the epic adventurer that goes on adventures and going on quests. Hence the reason we have Nefty Quest with her hat.
Very cool. So, then that's where it came from, right? Like the Nefty
Yes.
Quest logo was the hat originally, right? And you kind of
Yeah, Betsy's
awesome.
hat took its own adventure and did a thing.
So cool. And how long were you with Nefty? Have you been like working with Nefty, and how long have you been doing art?
I've been working with them for a year and a half, and it was fantastic. A lot of learning. I got from small animation things done for them toward like everything in house that they could think of. Like, oh, you do art, right? You can do this, right? Like, sure, I'll try.
Amazing.
So eventually, I also tried my hand at graphic design, banners, things for Twitter Spaces, setups, and I learned a lot about Illustrator and a lot of cool programs from Adobe.
Yeah.
But I'm not supposed to be promoting Adobe too much because,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I do use them. I promote them every day on the show, like not on purpose, but like just I do use them
Yeah.
nonstop. So it's like I can't talk about my process of how I do my shows without mentioning 3 Adobe products. You know,
Yeah.
because it's like I do use Photoshop, I do use After Effects, and I use Character Animator.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, absolutely. Oh,
yeah.
Character Animator. I learned to love that one.
Did you? Oh my God! Then we definitely have a lot to talk about because you don't even know how rare
Yes.
you are. Like
Really?
there's like 30 or 40 of us in the world that can actually make that thing work. Like it's not that it's broken; it's just the lack of.
It's
It's such a small program right now. There's not a lot of users, and there's not a lot of like people who want to
But there's
dedicate the
so
time.
many amazing tutorials about it on YouTube,
Yes.
like how they function, and it's so easy to set up as well. It's like a spine, but then perhaps a little more complicated. But once you get the hang of it, like It works like a charm.
Exactly.
Hey,
And the way,
I'm writing a song about it. I'm
are
gonna start
you?
writing a song about it.
About what?
Yeah,
Character
Oh, for
animator?
crying out
it was
loud!
it was sponsored. It was sponsored by Adobe.
A song called "Sponsored by Adobe." We should,
Oh
if you write
yeah.
a song called "Adobe, Please Sponsor Us," I'm down with that because
Oh,
they
go for
need
it.
to sponsor us. Like they're not sponsoring us; we're just trying to get them to.
No, sponsored by Adobe.
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 Yes. I mean, this show is always sponsored by Adobe, ladies and gentlemen. Adobe.
FYI,
Try one today and maybe just
David
get
did
that stick out your
reach
ass.
out. Sorry, David did reach out. He did not leave because of me.
Okay.
He had to take care of his son. His wife had to step out, and I'm assuming it's an infant. His son was having a meltdown, to quote him. So
So he had a
he will be
younger
back.
child
He's
than
going to come
you to
back
deal
to
with.
finish his. He'll come back in another day to
Yeah.
do his
No, I definitely want to talk
finish
to
them.
him more.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're saying he had a younger child than you to deal with.
Correct.
Got it. He's like, he was
Wait,
already
what?
dealing. What? I don't know. Betsy. So where do you see yourself? Like, what's your favorite program to use, and what's your favorite kind of side of the process? Are you more of an illustrator? Are you more of an animator? Do you like rigging? Do you like
Um, I love making up characters, like the concept, like
character
drawing in
design?
Photoshop. Even though Photoshop is not
Yeah.
a tool meant for drawing, and I actually started working in Clip Paint Studio,
Nice.
which is meant for drawing, and I know this, and I've been tearing at it, and I've been talking about it with many other artists that I know. Like, yeah, you work in Photoshop for your artistic purposes, but why? It's meant for Photoshop. And we all know it, but we've been like hand fed into college, like, oh, that's the tool that you have to use. So we stuck with it. And even though other tools may be far easier to get your perfect lines or digital art done with, we still use Photoshop. Like it's
Yeah, I
like
mean,
why?
Illustrator was always superior for vector, and that was
Yeah.
I would say that was the prevailing knowledge up until maybe this year. But what's happening this year is Photoshop basically is like yes, they split everything up, but then they're also like beefing up Photoshop. Like they spend the
Yep.
development team on Photoshop is like probably 10 times the development team of every other project, you know? So it's like the stuff
Yeah.
they're adding to Photoshop now with like the neural engine. Like you can de-age your face. You can take a picture of yourself on Photoshop now, and using their machine learning, you can set your age or younger, just make yourself into a young person, or you set it older, and it does it like basically real time if your computer's fast enough. It's terrifying.
Nice.
So yeah, you can just literally
Nice.
slide a slider and be like, let's just take 10 years off of that, and we're done. Or like now they can actually enhance, like in like Law and Order, when they're like, hey, zoom in and enhance, and it's like all of us are screaming at the computer like, that's not how resolution works. It doesn't make
I
any
know, I
sense. Like
know.
zoom in and
Oh
enhance.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
all you can do is sharpen the crap out of it, right? Until it's like just blocks of, you
Yep.
know. So what they can do now is they can actually like use Adobe Sensei, the machine learning engine, that Adobe developed, and actually like reverse engineer the blur, so they can like reverse the blur. Like it uses machine learning to reverse the blur and actually de-blurs things, like motion blur, like regular blur. It's the craziest thing. And so we're there. So like Adobe's, I think they're making Photoshop into like a mega beast of a,
Oh
an
yeah,
image
absolutely.
processing software now, right? And
And
like
yeah.
yeah, but you also the animation timeline they put in there, so you can do vector, like step by step based animation, and so it's
Hmm.
like that's what I use for like if I need to do simple animation, something just like simple hand drawn, like a fire effect or a spark or something. I'll just do it in Photoshop really quick and just go boom, 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 like frame,
Yeah,
animate it,
and
and then
I
export it into
usually
Character
use
Animator
the
as a cycle.
timeline as well. Oh, I'm so guilty for that one too. If I have a quick sketch or something in my head, like, oh, I really wanted this character to do a thing, like
Yes.
pull something out of a hat or do something magical, and I have to draw it super fast. I'll just go for Photoshop timeline anyway.
It's really like they say, what's the best camera? And it's like the one you have on you when you need to take the picture, right? So it's kind of
Oh yeah.
like, what's the best software? It's like, I use all of them because I think you can get a cool, different look. If you do the same project with three different softwares, it would come out differently, because
Mm,
of their different
yeah.
limitations and stuff. So that's what, like,
Yes.
try to
Like
cycle as much as
for
possible.
True. For Nifty Quest, I've been using a lot of Paint Tools IE in between and Illustrator rather than Photoshop. Like there was
Mm.
some Photoshop in between for coloring, but for the line work, it's either Paint Tools IE or Sai. or studio clip paint. Yeah, and I really like learning more about new tools that are on the market. Like, and if they're good, they stick.
Exactly. I'm always recommending tools to people here on the show that are the easiest ones to use, because I believe that like you have to a lot of those no code tool like no code coding development, for example, or things like a simpler tool. Like I don't recommend iMovie to anyone, but like I'll recommend like GarageBand instead of Logic, right? If they're just getting started, right? Because it's a good GarageBand will teach you the principles of Logic, and you can abstract away a lot of the concepts. And I like how Logic now, Logic Pro, the music program, by default, it doesn't have all these advanced features, and they've actually made it really simple, and then you can like click to turn it on. And so they understand that like having more features is actually bad for beginner users because it overwhelms them, you know. And so like
Yeah.
that's why Illustrator is like sometimes a little bit too overwhelming for me because is so advanced, and I'm just like I know Photoshop so well, and my mom's my mom's a graphic designer, so my mom is Illustrator and I'm Photoshop, and we're constantly like sending each other the wrong file format. So it's nice that they
I'm really,
actually
yeah.
play nice now.
I totally understand that, and I'm gonna preach a little bit to Juan over here. Like, thank you so much for everything you've done for me, and really opened my world for Illustrator. Because prior to Nifty Blocks, I refused Illustrator. Like, nah, I ain't touching that because it was so different from Photoshop, and I was like, not doing it.
Right, right. Yeah, and honestly, I
That's me.
know. I think when when we crossed paths, I was having some issues with the uh, advertising the banner and whatnot through Nifty Blocks, and maybe you were just filling in or whatever that week. I know it wasn't your main job, but you wore a lot of hats at Nifty Blocks, though. I believe, right? You did more
Oh
than
yeah,
just
absolutely.
yeah, and that's great, especially them giving you as many opportunities as possible for whatever period of time you were there too, right? So you gained a lot of new experiences, I'm assuming.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
It's like so many new things and things I didn't know I had in me. Like, for example, that's Illustrator for me. That was also learned to work with Figma, and Figma was like a child of Illustrator, but then far easier to use. And it's like the Google Drive for designers, like when
Yeah,
you
Figma's
have
kind of
graphic
awesome.
design.
Can't
So that
lie. I
was,
hated it first, but it's kind of awesome.
yeah,
Figma. Once I jumped in,
yeah.
I was like, oh, because I don't really like. I'm Mister like, oh, I paid for the software, so I don't want to use this online service. Like, it can't possibly be as good. And then there's certain ones like GIMP is really good. Photoshop Cloud,
Yeah.
GIMP?
It's called GIMP. Yeah,
Why would they pick a name like that?
exactly why what you
Yeah.
think it is. They
Like,
want you to think of the guy in the mask.
Yeah, I've
that's
heard of it.
nasty.
Oh,
That's nasty. But Betsy, even though I know your real name is not Betsy, if you need a reference for whatever job or career that you go to next, and then you need to give references, I would be more than happy to give you a 5-star reference. And
Wow.
yeah,
Thanks.
absolutely. So, because you can say, "Hey, look, I got references from customers. Like, who else is getting that?" I think
Yeah, Brett,
that's.
I already told her we're gonna
But
talk offline about stay
yeah.
tuned and like bringing her on the team because like
Oh,
yeah,
oh, you
dude,
already
like
got it from
attitude
Indeed.
wise, you're
There you
awesome,
go.
and
Oh
Damn.
and
wow.
I
Oh
need as many
jeez.
I need as many people as possible if we're gonna
Yeah.
like really do this.
You're
So
just
like
you just take all my contacts and you find them in whatever things you can
that's my
find.
job.
There you go.
Brad
Okay.
just rolls around like a sticky little child collecting people
Collecting
and
assets
just
for you
touching everything
to
around him.
use.
He's like,
Gene
ooh,
Blacks.
touch, and he's collecting things, and then I
Oh,
come
brother.
and I take all the coins and the rare coins and things off of him, and I throw away the pieces that aren't good, and the
Hey,
pieces of
whatever I can do to help, man.
caca or
Whatever
whatever else you
I can do
picked
to
up.
help. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Brad sometimes gets attached to like the pieces of garbage that he picks up. And he's like, but I like it. And I'm like, no, this is garbage.
But it was
That person,
shiny.
yeah, that person's garbage, Brad.
Well,
That
Brad,
person's
I can
garbage.
totally relate to you and your habit of collecting. I mean, the moment I hit a beach or a forest and I find a piece of wood or whatever, I bring it back home. And then
Yeah.
what do I do with that piece of wood?
Nothing.
It's gonna be good one day when I need it.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the holy grail of the drawer with
Yeah.
with
Oh
wires
my
that you don't
God.
But
use.
Betsy, the
That's
issue is if you
hilarious.
do that with physically, you can see when you run out of space, right? If you do that with people,
Yeah.
next thing you know, like you're working on 7 projects you don't even want to work on, and you're just doing it out of obligation. You're like, how the hell did I get all these? Like, what? Like it's happened to me my entire life. And then one day I'll wake up and be like, I gotta fire 3 of these people. I don't even know how I got this far on this project. you know, where it's like you don't get along with the person on the phone. You don't like the project. You're not interested in the project. It's not
Right.
even what you normally do. And it's like, this is wrong on all 7 points. How did I get here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So,
it's oftentimes I found it's fear of saying no. So it's like, wait, just like learn how to say no, everyone. Expert advice. What up, Zolo?
yes, that's
Zolo's
where
hands
I was
had been up.
going with that. He's probably got tennis elbow. It's been up for a while, or maybe he passed out with it. Oh,
Stuck that way.
up. But uh, there's some. I know this is going to sound really bad, but we're always crossing timelines with
Always crossing the streams.
with certain individuals, and there's a space I think both of us really would like to go, but it's not a Twitter space.
Oh, Sessions thing? Which thing?
Yeah.
Is that happening right now? I thought it was over.
Yeah.
Is it still going on
Yeah.
in Twitch?
Yeah, I want to go.
We can bring everyone to Twitch.
No.
Does he have a post? Like we can post it, pin it up in the top?
Yes, I have it. Uno seconde.
Segundo.
Secundo.
Uno segundo. Segundo.
And voila, it is now up top.
Voila. That is French for the walla.
The walla. Walla. That's
Voila
actually
is French
kind of funny.
for,
My
and so it appears, right?
my daughter's doctor, family
And so it
doctor,
is.
her name is Dr. Walla Wada. I'm not making that up.
Walla Wada,
Walla
Washington?
Wada. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's fucking weird. Forking weird.
I can't, like, my mentions I can't even see anything anymore.
You're
I've gotten to the
losing your vision. I'm losing my
No,
hearing.
I've reached the point of Twitter where it's like I just have too many things. And this is not me bragging. This is me trying to tell Twitter, because they listen to these spaces, to fix it, because like I can't even see anything. You know what I mean? Like all the notifications and DM and everything, all your notifications are just clobbered together in one big mess.
Huh.
And then if someone tags you and like 1,000 other people in something, right?
Oh, yes.
You have like just all of that. So
Right. Hey, Beardo. Oh, we got to bring Beardo. Beardo made my banner.
I know, dude. Beardo's been listening.
Yo,
I don't know if he had. I think I threw him a mic, but
I think Zolo's arms about to
I
fall
know.
off.
I know we
We did. We
asked him.
talked to him.
I think he's frozen in carbonite like that, bro.
Wow, he got
We
frozen.
Han Solo Exolo?
Yeah, he's a Han Solo.
Oh wow,
Solo.
I had no idea.
He's Han Solo over here, frozen in carbonite, with his hands out, just like Han Solo.
This is true. This is
Just
true.
this is factual facts.
This is fucking factual
Hey,
fact.
hey, Web3 needs a Han Solo too. You know.
Mm-mm-mm.
Han
And
Solo.
it would be an XO.
Oh dear lord.
You
Okay,
should
well,
get OXOLO.
I'm going to.
Brad, do you want me to pin the link to that?
Choosing, I did.
Oh, you did.
Up. Yeah,
You pinned
and
it
I
already?
also just put up Beardo's pinned tweet as well. And Beardo made me 2 custom-made banners. I'm sporting this one here today. The flaming, the flaming flames, right? Flaming flames. Yeah, flaming flames. I'm gonna go with flaming flames. That match my picture here, and then next week, wait till you see the next week one. I'm gonna alternate them. Like
You have
one
a
week
third
I'll
banner?
have this one, and then the next
gonna
week
drop
I'll
on
have
us?
that one. No, just 2. I just got 2. Oh, he did take a mic.
What's up, Beardo?
Beardo, another fellow Canadian in his house.
Yeah, not too much. I've just been listening. How's it going?
Good. So
Great.
we're gonna get you to brag about yourself for 2.4 seconds, and then tell us where to get the banners, and then I'm gonna do a Mr. Rogers and a boom, 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 and then we're all gonna go and fuck up session space.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for the share and stuff. I appreciate it. Thanks for bringing me up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have a small project, banners by Beardo. It's just a 100-piece collection. It's all liquid abstract banners there with different color gradients head to it. It's minted on Solsea, so it is a Solana project. So you can find it through the link in my profile right now, or I have another profile for it, which is banners by Beardo. So feel free to check that out. And otherwise, if you have any difficulty, feel free to send me a DM PM there. And I think the one that you post is actually my one that's on ETH. That's just some graffiti pieces that I did up a while ago that I dropped the price down to 0.02 for a week there.
Nice. Where's the part about yourself? The best part about yourself is what? Where are you from?
Oh yeah, I'm from Kingston, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah, Canada in his house.
Stand up.
Damn straight.
I love it. Brad's like, what's the most important thing about you?
The most important thing
Canadian.
about me?
I know.
No,
I just got
you.
really
If I was you,
for a second, and then you were like, "Where do you live?" And I was like, "Oh, that's where you."
Oh yeah. The most important. The most important.
Did I say the most important thing?
Yeah. You're like, what's the most important thing about you? You're from Canada.
That's not what I meant. That's not how
I know how you meant it. I don't think that you. What you think? I think. Ever, Brad. I don't think you meant it the way you think I thought you meant it.
I think if I continue to talk about it, I will make it worse. So, all right, Beardo man, thank you for the banner, bud. Don't listen to the rest of these hosers, eh?
Yeah, we're a bunch of hosers and posers. We hosing and posing.
We need to get baked Ben on here. That guy is fucking funny as crazy.
Who's Baked Ben?
He's another Canadian. Beardo does spaces like in the morning, and his buddy here. I don't know if you met him before or whatever, but he's a regular in Beardo's space. Holy fuck, he's funny, man. He's got the like super Canadian like accent where you would recognize like off of TV shows and shit.
Like, does he speak like a chunk kind of thing? Like, ooh, like a
no. It's definitely more the SCTV, with
yes,
yeah.
It's so funny because like I think I got more Canadian comedy and things than anyone else did growing up. I don't know why. But like I just grew up and ended up being like becoming friends with all Canadians.
To be honest with you though, I haven't really met a lot of Canadians like Ben, that sound like him. So I was just like, holy shit, they are out there. They are out there.
Like it's like don't you know? Like kind of Minnesotan Canadian?
Ish, not really. Anyways, Beardo, what were you gonna say?
I was just saying it must be the algorithm or something, because there's a number of people that I know, like there's Tater Poutine, who's a person from out west, and he's like very Canadian, similar to Ben.
Yeah, Tater's a business partner of mine with the virtual reality platform of OVR.
So I'm just finding it's a bunch of Canadians and Italians up in here.
Yeah, this is
half
true.
The people I meet are Canadian. They're half are Italian.
And all the Italians I meet are Calabrese.
Yeah,
they're all Southern, anyways. Yeah.
What is that about? Is it because we're all nice?
Idea.
Like Canadians and Italians are the two nicest people.
Puro Italiano.
Yeah.
From the Spanish guy.
No, I don't. But well, no, we're the two nicest. Like an Italian will like invite you inside and like give you dinner.
Yeah, but Formula's been indoctrinated into the Italian Canadian space, even though he's Spanish.
That's fine. That's always allowed. Both my best friends here are Mexican and
Spanish Mexican. Is that really? Is there a difference? Is it offensive if I say?
No, they're just Mexican because they're in California.
But Mexican and Spanish, what's the difference?
Like when I'm in New York, I call people Spanish, but typically they're Puerto Rican. I call them Puerto Rican if I know, but I don't want to assume because you don't want to assume someone's Dominican. Never assume someone's Dominican in New York. They'll punch you if they're Puerto Rican. Like, just straight up, you have to know about the racism between the different. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole point of trying to like group them into calling them Latino. It's trying to get me punched.
So it's like somebody asked me.
Just trying to get me punched.
Somebody asked me if I was Mexican, and I'm like, I'm Latin, Latino.
I'm Latin, yeah.
I'm Latino,
Oh, you just mix it up so they never get it right.
The catch-all term Latino and now Latinx.
And then he goes, no, I'm Latino. I'm like,
the catch-all term was just because people were scared to be like, where are you from? You know what I mean? Like, or where'd you from? Or like, what is your heritage? Or what's your, It's an awkward question. So you just go, oh, are you Latino? And they're like, yeah, sure. It's why Italian people won't fight you. And you're like, you're white? And they're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, read my lips.
Yeah.
they're they're Jamaican. My lips are Jamaican.
So that's the thing. It's like I
That's
found it,
killer.
but my two Mexican friends are the only friends that I allow to do like Italian accents with me and be like, hey, oh, hey, and like they do like really good Italian accents, and I let them get away with it because like they're my best friends and also like they're Mexican, so like they let me do like Mexican accents back and forth, and so we just, you know what I mean? Like we give each other the pass. I'm like, I'm not gonna get upset if you don't get upset. All right, we good? All right, we're friends, fine.
Yeah.
Because they're comedians too, so we have to be like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right.
we have to be constantly cracking jokes at all times. But I
Absolutely.
found that there's a lot of Canadians and a lot of Italians here, and a lot of Latinos. Like it's very interesting. And my personal belief is that I think it's the people in society that typically aren't like allowed to do things in a typically white, predominantly white world. So it's like you have like black people here, you have like Italian, you know, people who are like Italian American but aren't like white passing. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like non-white passing Italians. Like I can't pass for a white guy. I'm too swarthy. I could if I cut my hair short and if I shaved my beard, I could totally do it. But I am way too swarthy. I look way more like a Spaniard. Like I look like I'm from España,
You know what?
not from
You
Italia.
got a D'Artagnan look to you.
Yes, I look like D'Artagnan.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or like Inigo Montoya.
It's
Ooh.
like I speak
Prepare to die.
Spanish and I joke in Spaniard.
Yes, exactly. I joke in Spaniard, exactly.
Yeah,
Kill
that's why
my
I wrote
father.
that song, joking
Oh
in
my.
Spaniard, but I speak
Mm,
Spanish though.
I love that. I think the Spaniard looks come from I'm from my family's half of my family's from the west coast of Ireland, County Clare. And if you know about the County Clare history, the Spanish Armada shipwrecked right off the coast of there, and so the Spaniards settled there and like made love to all the Irish women. I wouldn't say had sex, but they made love to them.
Uh
They were
huh.
settled and they made love to these beautiful ginger women. For they
Zorro.
had never seen a woman with orange hair before, and they made love to them. These ripe tomatoes. And so they made love to all the ripe tomatoes and then created a whole group of people called the Black Irish. And like Peter Gallagher, for example, from like the OC, like or Mr. Deeds, he's Black Irish. Like he has very
Okay.
dark eyebrows, right?
Yeah.
And they typically don't, because when you think of an Irish person, you think like blonde hair, blue eyes, ginger, you know, the little
Oh,
leprechaun.
sorry.
So it's that mixed with the Sicilian, which is why right now I am like, I wish I could show you a picture, but the camera doesn't represent. Um,
Does
I
it?
have the old phone before they decided to start representing skin tones accurately. I have the
Ah.
iPhone 10, so I got to get the iPhone 13, so then everyone will be able to see what I actually look like, which is cool. Yeah.
Widescreen. All right. So
Well, apparently it's
are
a
you
whole thing.
ready,
It was
good
a
sir?
whole movement. They were like, you know, we need to represent people. Find a way to make the camera like represent all the
Yeah.
skin
Instead
tones
of adding
between.
10 pounds, it
Yeah.
should take away 10 pounds. Bastards. All right. Are you ready? Let's do this.
Before you start, let's
Oh.
have NFT Parody Master just came up and wanted to say hi.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, bro? You've been down to the show listening to throwing up emojis all day. What's happening?
Yes, I have a question for you. What do you have against
Yes,
what do you have
Ah.
against Italian?
I have. I am Italian.
So am I.
So you are Italian.
We're both Italian. Yeah, I'm Italian American.
Hey, do you have something against Italian?
No,
I'm just
I
Oh,
kidding.
celebrate. We
I'm just
celebrate.
kidding, my man. I'm neighbor. I'm from Serbia.
Serbia. Hey,
I
I was
love
gonna
his
say,
Hello,
what
guys.
we have
happened
a
here?
Hello,
we
guys.
have a lot
Hello,
in
guys.
common,
I'm just
Serbians.
listening this space, and I like
Man,
you very much.
I
I
like you
almost
Thank
too.
hit
you.
You're down
episode
there.
3.
Don't hit
Episode.
episode 3. You were
Don't
down
hit
there. You were
episode
down there
three.
throwing up
Yeah.
smiley faces. You're great, dude. What do
Yes.
you?
Thanks.
So you do parodies?
Well, I like jokes and I like to kidding. I
Yeah.
like. Well, world is a parody, When we are looking at social networks, we are all nice, good. We all have some charity manners, but actually, we are animals. So
Exactly.
most
Yeah.
I love that so much.
most of us, because uh, it's okay. It's not about NFT world, yes, but. When we are speaking about humanity, about our history, what we have? War, 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 First World
Yep.
War, Second World War, Third World War.
Yep.
We have Egyptians, Sumerians, whatever, Babylonians, and war. So that's why I'm NFT. Yes, that's why I'm NFT parody master. Because
All right.
I, st-
So
I,
why don't we get
The
you?
world needs more comedy, right?
Yeah, but why don't we get him up as a special guest on the next show?
We
So
should.
he
Do you
can
want?
talk
Are you
about it.
around tomorrow at this time? Do you want to come on
Yeah.
and talk at the beginning of the show too?
yes, okay, I agree.
Okay, let's do
Nice,
that.
man.
thanks,
Let's do that because
thanks,
we got to go see a
Woohoo!
friend of ours.
thanks for
So
that.
I
And
wish
we're
you.
heading over to a friend.
Of
So we
course.
will have you on tomorrow as our special guest. Cool.
okay, okay,
Do
thank
you
you.
have
All
a, Do you
right.
have any? Do you have any parodies you could play for us tomorrow?
Well,
Can you bring some
I
music with
have
you?
no
Yeah.
I started all of this because I am marketing manager, and
Yeah.
I'm
So
no
we're gonna go over all of that.
I deal with marketing private, so I
Okay.
Very
without
cool.
NFT spaces and without cryptocurrencies. I like cryptos and I like NFTs, but for my soul.
All
So
right.
I
We're gonna
Beautiful.
find out exactly how much you like all of that. So because we don't want to take
well,
away from your
okay.
time tomorrow, right?
Okay. I will
So
tell
we
you.
got to save all the good juicy stuff for tomorrow's show.
Well, wait, my man. I will tell you
Yeah.
right now. I like cryptocurrencies because I made a lot of money with cryptos, and I know how to recognize shit coins, meme coins, some
Nice.
good projects,
Yeah.
and about NFTs. I like NFT idea.
So
When
you're
we
gonna
are
tell us your secrets to all of those
Yeah.
when
How about
you
this?
when you come
NFT
up tomorrow.
tomorrow. Tomorrow,
Yeah.
come up
No,
and give us like your favorite
there is
projects.
no secret.
There's a
This
secret.
no
There's a
no
secret.
no.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
whole
Yeah. Trust
situation,
me.
no, this whole
Okay.
situations
Yeah.
we have now, it's all about making money. So we have
Yes.
hype, and 90% of people who start their NFT saga, they started because of CryptoPunks, Bored Ape Yacht Club, and after that we
Yeah.
have Doodles, we have
Yeah. The
WagMe, and
tons.
whatever. But at this moment we have hype. But when we are speaking
Yes.
about NFT, about crypto, and about blockchain technology, we have better story behind that.
Yeah. But
We have
sorry.
opportunity to sign contracts to buy shares, to buy tickets.
Yeah.
Some
Exactly.
real good stuff.
Well, NFTs,
It,
NFT Power Investor. We can go into that for a whole another 2 hours, and Brad wants to end the show, so we can
Yes,
give him some extra space.
yeah.
okay.
So we'll get
I
to it
will
No,
tomorrow.
shut. I
Okay,
will
bud.
shut up.
no, you're
Well,
good.
it's
But if
okay.
will you
We
come
want to
on
hear all about
tomorrow?
it. Just we want to hear about it tomorrow.
Yeah, come on
Okay,
tomorrow because we want to
Yeah.
talk about that all show.
Yeah.
If you
okay.
don't have any guests tomorrow,
Just
so perfect.
please send me an invite.
Yeah. We will.
Of course,
We
you'll be a
will.
special
Okay,
guest for tomorrow.
okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
I'm old man.
Thank you for coming
I
up.
have 41 years, and I will forget.
No,
Yeah,
no. We got you.
we'll
We
we'll
got
remind
you.
you. Don't worry.
All right. Here we go. Here we go.
So,
And
what
this
do
is
you have
the.
against Italian?
So what did we learn today, kids? We learned that what do you have against Italians? I have nothing against Italians. We learned that NFT Parody Master is awesome. We learned that Beardo is awesome and makes awesome banners. We learned that Formula 69 is awesome and makes awesome music. We learned that Leprechaun Sanctuary is awesome and makes awesome PFP projects that have an awesome community. We learned that Betsy is awesome and makes awesome art and everything that NFT Blocks needed for a long time. And we learned that we should all check out NFT Blocks so that they can build their community even bigger and grow. We learned that Consumer Break is down there listening the whole time, being awesome. We learned that Brad doesn't set alarms and doesn't care if he's an hour late to the show.
I didn't
Uh,
want to. I wasn't sleeping prior to.
we learned that sleep is very important and to
Yeah.
drink water and to keep your
Yeah.
mind right And we learned from David to create your own stories and create your own writers' rooms. And that's what I learned today. I learned a lot today, Brad. What did you think?
Well, here's what I learned. I learned that it takes more than 4 days to adjust your sleep patterns after 4 months of partying like a rock star until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. That's what I learned.
We learned we need to
And
wean off of degen behavior.
yeah,
You
exactly.
can't just quit degen behavior
Yeah,
cold
you
turkey.
can't cold turkey that shit. And so that's what happened. But I love all you guys, and I'm sorry, and thank you for being my neighbor.
We're all sorry here at this half Canadian, half American show.
Yes.
We're sorry, and also America.
America.
Half of us are sorry, and the other half of us are like, deal with it. It's the way of the world. Get with the picture. Brad, on that note.
On that note, we're gonna do it like I normally do it, and that's just totally fucking loud and
Dogecoin to the
obnoxious.
moon.
And that's the only way I want it, is always loud and obnoxious. So here we go.
Bring that ass back like a boom, 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 boom.
Hey. Live from Ibiza. It's
Live from British Columbia. Expert Advice, episode 24 with superstar Christiano and Brad Music NFTs. If you're not following Stay Tuned, why the fuck not? Follow Stay Tuned. Big things coming there. Fucking awesome place. Woo! And if you think you're gonna be bigger than us, go suck a dog. Let's fucking go. Woo!
Suck a dog.
And I want this atmosphere tomorrow in the room.
Whole thing. Woo! 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 Woo!